Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or The Notorious Fantasy, and today I'm joined with Max, the animal of Fade the Public and Bagels and Locks. Obviously, I assume most of you guys know who he is. Now, the reason why he might be here is because I called him an asshole, but he's obviously not actually an asshole. I just thought that would get him on here, and it worked. So that's how
It
you
did
can see him
indeed.
here.
It did indeed. I'm
Yeah,
glad to
exactly.
be here. I'm glad to be here.
You should be. It's going to be quite the fun time here. Now, obviously, I assume you guys know who Animal is. If you don't know who he is, you can check him out. All of his links will be in the description for Fade the Public and his Twitter and anything else you want. At the end, you can plug. So we're just going to start off here. When did you start playing fantasy football? That's the first question.
So I actually had to look this one up. My first season ever, I was 16 years old. I was in high school, and it was a 6-man league. How pathetic is that? A 6-man league, and you want to know what's even more pathetic?
What?
I came in 6th place.
Great
I
job.
looked it up, 6 out of 6. So ever since then, I was hooked, though. I mean, that was it. Even though I came in last, it was just like the camaraderie. It was, my buddies from high school, and just, you get that connection. There's always something you could talk about. It's just, I loved it ever since the start, even though I was a loser.
That's okay. I started playing when I was 8 years old, so it's okay.
Yeah, so yeah, you got a little edge on me there. I was 15, 16. So
yeah, what year was that?
2005, 2006.
Okay, I started playing 2008.
2005. Yeah. All right, yeah, that's when I graduated high school.
Yeah, exactly. All right, now the second question here is, what made you become a Broncos fan? Obviously, you live not in Denver, so.
Yeah, so a lot of people get like their fandoms from like their father or like a brother or like something like that. So my dad doesn't watch football. He's not a football guy. He's a NASCAR guy. So I kind of had to fend for myself. So around the time when I was, 7, 8 years old, when I started watching football, like, actually getting into it, the Broncos were a top team. They were a team, they were in the Super Bowl. And I just kind of was drawn to them. My first jersey was a John Elway jersey. My second jersey was a Terrell Davis jersey. So it just kind of worked that way. And then NFL Blitz came out, and the Broncos were like the best team in that game. So I was playing with them all the time. Shannon Sharp, John Elway, Terrell Davis. Like there was all those big stars. It attracted me to it. Plus they had sweet uniforms.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I picked the Dolphins. They have cool uniforms. I'm a Dolphins fan.
I love the old school Dolphin uniforms. The ones with the retros.
Yeah, those are the best ones we got.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now the next question here is, how did you meet Nick and Snacks? Now, Snacks told me a story. Maybe it'll be the same story.
So if it's the same story, I think it's the one where we were somewhat neighbors who lived around the corner from me, and we had a little wrestling league. It was in his front yard. I believe he had like ropes and everything. It was legit. And we basically would just, wrestle around, make up our own WWE, bullshit. But his little brother, who was a couple years younger than us, was just sitting there flipping off people on the street as they're driving by. And I was like, oh, these guys are fun. I guess I'll hang out with them more. And that was just kind of, when we were younger, we were around the corner. It worked, and then you grow apart a little bit, and then you get back together. It's just one of those things. Small town, same school, all that stuff. As for Nick, I've known, but I know his sister because we were in the same grade. So I've always known him, but he was a few years younger. We didn't hang out a lot, but I guess once you get older and you're in the same town, everyone just kind of like meshes, and age and grade, all that stuff doesn't matter anymore. So, I mean, it's a small town. It's really how you know everybody.
That makes a lot of sense. Did you guys make any money from your wrestling league or no?
No, dude, we were like 7 years old. So Is It Snacks has had 2 wrestling leagues.
Oh, okay.
That was like when we were, I don't know, I was probably like 8 or 9.
Oh,
he was like 6 or 7. And then that started it all when he was, I think, 15, 16 is when he started the EWF.
Yeah.
And that was when, I think he made a couple bucks. I remember paying like $2 for VIP tickets. I got Starburst. So
that's good.
He got some money.
Yeah, he told me he got some money. That's why I was just wondering if you guys were charging at 7 years old to have people watch you.
No, that was like the wrestling before the wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, we can go back to this question if you don't have anything off the top of your head, which is what is your best story from growing up? We go back if you don't got anything.
No, I've got some. I thought of something, and I figured I'd go with like an embarrassing story. This is something that it's kind of like a story in my family that just everyone remembers, and we never forget it. I was at Lake George on vacation. I was probably like 10 years old, maybe 11, I don't know. And it was my first time going water skiing. And I'm getting ready. I mean, I'm on the, I'm in there, I got the skis on, everything, I'm ready to go. And the one thing they said was, if you fall down, make sure you let go of the rope. And I got up first try, no problem. Boom. And then as soon as I got up, I went right down, fell face first, and just held onto the rope for as long as I could. I got dragged across the whole lake,
That's
just
great.
all the way on my stomach like a human torpedo. And I don't think I ever went water skiing again. It was like probably a traumatizing moment for me.
Hmm.
But I mean, I was strong as shit at that age too because I held on to that rope, and it's not easy to do as a 10-year-old. Hold on to a rope getting dragged across the lake. So
Exactly. That's great.
yeah, I don't know why I thought of that. It's just something that kind of sticks in the back of my head forever.
Yes. Stories like that will always stick with you. Some dumb shit you did when you were like 10 years
Yeah,
old.
exactly. So yeah, and then you learn from it. So
Exactly. You took a lot
now,
from that.
yeah, exactly.
All right, now we're going to switch to a topic more about Fade the Public. Obviously, the podcast, if you guys know. Do you ever feel like it's weird since a lot of people rely on your takes, or do you just feel like that's kind of normal?
Uh, I guess I'm kind of getting used to it. At first, it was definitely weird. I was a little weary on like, what to say because I didn't want to say something like ridiculous because I had plenty of ridiculous takes. But now that, people are actually listening, I have to be a little conscious of that. I got to make sure that I'm not just spewing complete nonsense all the
Mhm.
time. So uh, I'd say it might be a little overwhelming at times too, because I do like sit starts and stuff like that, and people will actually listen to it. And then there's times where I'm like going like, I don't really know if you should listen to me like today, but here's my answer. And then, if they listen to it, they listen to it. If not, it's their choice at the end of the day. I'm only saying what I do. I'm only doing what I do. And then if they choose to listen, it's on them.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree on that. Now, do you listen to the show after you guys record it? Because I find it impossible to listen to my own voice. I sound fucking stupid when I listen to myself.
At first, I definitely hated doing it. And the reason I did do it though was because I try to like, I want to get better at everything I do. I want to be prepared, and I want to like, if I see something I'm doing wrong, I want to be able to identify it and try and correct it. So like, definitely when we first started, I could tell I was a little nervous on camera and
Hmm.
not being myself 100% and trying to like be a little too analytical and like smarter than I really am. Because I'm not an analytics guy. I'm not a stat guy.
Yeah,
I'm a
neither am I.
watch the game, see what I see, and then just take what I know from, watching football for, 20 years.
Hmm.
And then that's how I come to my conclusions and my analysis and stuff like that. So I just had to find myself, I guess. So watching the videos definitely helped. I don't watch as much anymore, but I still definitely go back because, like I said, like just trying to always perfect things and then see like what segments work. See like all right, we did this, but like did it actually come out good? Because it always it looks different on paper, it sounds different in your head, and then when you actually get it out there, it could be complete shit. You don't really
Yeah.
know, so you got to watch.
Have
But
you ever like went back and listened to like the beginning, like the first ever episode? Because I tried doing that, listening to a video I made at the beginning of the summer, and it just sounds so much different to what it is now.
is brutal. It's
Yeah.
brutal. Yeah. But you have to do it. It's how you learn. It's the only way. Just like anything else. Like if you never even started this, how would you really know? So you do the first one, you go back, you look, you go, oh, this wasn't the best, but I can fix this, I can fix that, or
Hmm.
now look how far I've come. I mean, you just look at like the production of Fade the Public. When we first started, we had one camera on the center of the desk just pointing at us.
Yeah.
Then we upgraded to like a shitty microphone, and then we all got our own microphones. Then we got the camera. It's about time, man. You just gotta give it time and keep going. Don't
Hmm.
stop.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Definitely. Do you feel like you like the off-season recordings better or the in-season? Because Snacks said he likes the off-season better, and everyone I've asked pretty much says that they like off-season content better.
Yeah, off season's the way to go. It's just so much more freedom.
Hmm.
So from like a creative standpoint, there's really no like cap on anything we do. Like versus when you're in season, like you have like a kind of a guideline still. Like you need to either do like waivers, you want to give like some trade targets, or you want to give analysis on some guy who went off for 150 yards this week, but you don't think he's going to do it next week. Like there's so
Yeah.
many different things in the off season that you can do, and that creative freedom. Like this year, I think we're gonna take the content to a whole nother level just because we're gonna have the new space,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna also have an idea of like what worked from last season to take it, get rid of things, add things, and all that. And I'm just really excited for the off season content. The in season's fun. It's just you're kind of restricted.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Definitely. I agree with that as well. Now, do you feel like you have your worst call that you've ever made? Mine personally is probably I drafted Kerryon Johnson in the first round this year. It didn't fucking work. I
No.
love I loved him, and I preached it in every single video. Kerryon Johnson, his leg is okay. He's not going to get hurt. This, that, the other thing. But we saw what happened. Matt
Right.
Patricia's an idiot too, and he got hurt. So, do you feel like you know
It's
your worst call?
my worst of all time, or like since we've been doing Fade the
Yeah,
Public.
like the worst for Fade the Public.
Let me see here. I have a couple actually, to be honest with you. Actually, you know what? All right. I'll settle on TJ Yeldon.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like say he was going to be a first round pick or anything, but I was convinced he was going to be the starter in Buffalo this
Yeah,
season.
I remember
I
that.
thought Devin Singletary coming in, probably not going to win the job rookie year. TJ Yeldon, he's got the experience. He had a great year in Jacksonville last year. Frank Gore was on the roster, who I didn't think he was even going to be able to take 20 snaps this year, and he surprised me. So good for him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, probably TJ Yeldon. As I still have some faith in him too. As sad as that is, I still think TJ Yeldon's a good running back, and if he gets in the right team with the right coach, why not?
You
But
never know.
it didn't happen this year.
Do,
So
do, do you think that you'll ever live down picking Alvin Kamara, ripping your shirt, everything? Do you think that anyone will ever not remember that?
unfortunately, it's becoming like a thing for just like the brand, where it's like the whole like I feel good, like everything about it has just become like a mockery. So I don't think I'll ever live it down. I still don't think it's a terrible pick. It's
No,
Alvin
it's
Kamara at
not.
the 101. I mean, everyone, they want to bust my balls about it. That's fine. But it didn't work out this year. Would I do it again next year? We'll see. Who knows? Things change. Right now, no. But you never know. You never know.
Yeah. We talked about your worst call. Now, what do you feel like is your best call ever on the show? Like your best pick?
Uh, I mean, I was all over Derrick Henry, as everyone knows,
Yeah.
my freak athlete. But I feel like that's too easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's too easy of one. I
That's
would.
still a good call, though, I think.
Yeah, I guess it is because he did exceed even my own expectations. Like I knew he was going to be a top 5 running back.
Mm-hmm.
He went above and beyond. I think
Yeah.
with the touchdowns and the fact that he was the rushing leader. I mean, everyone thought he was going to have a good year, but he exceeded those expectations. I think astronomically.
Yeah, definitely. Now, obviously, I talked to Snacks about this. What do you feel like the worst punishment your league has ever had is?
Ooh.
Do you think it's this year with the whatever the numbers are? There's a bunch of numbers. Do you think this is the
So
worst?
I've been in this league, I believe, 5 years. This is probably the worst, just because it's got like the physical activity involved in it. We're talking about the wax and
Mhm.
then the running. Like those two right there, that's like a whole day's work. That's a lot of like other stuff. Like we had the stand up, you had to go and tell 10 jokes or whatever. That
Mhm.
sucks. It's not
Yeah.
fun. It's embarrassing. But like you go out for the night and that's it. This one it's an all day event. You're jerking, you're eating, you're running. What was the other one?
Beers, drinks.
And then you're drinking beers. Like it's a disaster. It sounds like fun in theory, but that one's the worst, hands down. He's gonna have a miserable day.
Yeah, he's gonna have to start
100%.
jerking off while he's running. He might catch a case or something.
Yeah, and it's 24 hours, so like you're gonna have to wake up and like just like 3 a.m. and just go, bam, just rub one out and drink a beer. Like
Yeah, that's crazy.
sounds like a great way to start the day, but probably not.
Definitely not. My league went with your guys' idea from last year, where Steve ran around, did the 5K.
Yeah, see, that was good. That's fun.
Yeah, but the problem is the guy who lost is a track star, so it's not even funny.
So yeah, he probably just
Yeah, he's
no
gonna fuck it
problem
up
in
in
that.
June. It'll be so easy.
Yeah, see, I'm all about, and every year I do this. I throw it in the pool. We have a vote for the punishments,
Yeah,
and every year I vote for waterboarding. It's my number one choice, and it never wins. And I think when that is eventually it's going to win. It has to.
that's what Snacks said. I asked him about that.
That could be the worst one. We'll see. I don't know. I've never been waterboarded. Maybe I will.
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
never
forward
have
to
been
it.
either. Yeah, it should be a fun time. My one friend did get waterboarded, and he said it's not a fun time. So
Yeah. Oh, I bet. But you know what? You're not going to die. So
yeah, you're
that's
fine.
the part about it that everyone's like was worried, but it's completely safe. So I'm not worried about it. I think it's a great punishment. If you people out there want a good punishment idea, waterboarding,
I'm
add
just
that to
not.
your list.
I'm not sure you guys can record it though. Can you put that on YouTube?
Oh yeah, as long as it's like in a parody way, you can record anything
Oh, okay.
for
All right.
sure.
I wasn't even sure about that.
I'm not even sure about it, but
Okay,
I'm just
fuck it.
gonna
Put it
say
out
it.
there. Yeah,
I'm just gonna say it. That's how I do it.
exactly. All right, now we're going to switch over to bagels and lox. Now, obviously, it came out that you are now the champion instead of snacks. Now, how do you feel?
Yes. I'm like, I was shocked. I don't even know. I guess I am a little shocked because I started the season 7-20, and like there was a point where like Snacks and I were talking, and we're like, shit, like this was supposed to be competitive, and like it's not. So now like the only things carrying the show is the fact that it's funny because you suck so bad and like you're doing so well. Like,
Hmm.
so when I started winning and doing much better, it was a bit of a surprise to me at first, and then I just found my groove and I kept going. And I think now that I know what when you first start anything, just like we were talking about before, it's hard to get your groove.
Yeah.
You got to look back, you got to fix what you're doing wrong. I was picking way too many favorites. I was picking way
Uh-huh.
too many favorites. As soon as I switched to picking dogs and the away teams, I started winning more because that was the formula. That was the trends for this season.
Yeah.
So it's just all about going back, correcting your mistakes.
Yeah, you became a real sharp now.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean I didn't even have to say it.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say it, but yes, I am sharp.
Yeah. Were you on a part of the purple Gatorade brigade? Were you part of that for Sunday?
No,
No,
no.
I was not.
That's something where like unless you have inside information, I'm not gonna bet it. You can't
Yeah.
bet something like the Gatorade color. Like, come on, you'll never know. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Well, everyone was saying it was because Kobe died and they were going to dump it in his honor in purple.
Theories. That's all. They're
Yeah.
conspiracy theories. That's all it
Exactly.
is. I get it. Purple and yellow. I heard that, but
Hmm.
I didn't bet it.
Okay. So do you feel like next year you're going to be a lot stronger now in Bagels and Lox? Now that you have it locked in, you've got the keys to success. Do you think next year is going to be just as strong at the as at the end of this year or no?
I don't want to come in like sounding cocky, but I honestly think I'm gonna blow Snacks out. Like it's not like if you look at like the trend from when he started real hot and I started terrible. And I evened out throughout the rest of the season. I went like 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 almost every week after like week 10. I had
Mhm.
3-0, 3-0, 2-1, 2-1. Very rarely had a losing week. So if I can keep that going, which I think I will, as soon as I figure out the board after week 2 weeks, that's all I need. 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's over. I think I'm gonna absolutely annihilate Snacks next year. I think we should figure out a way to put this on a sports book
Mhm.
and for like a futures bet.
Yeah.
Bagels and lock winner, animal versus Snacks. I'll probably be like -250, so the value won't be there. But
Yeah, you need to have like how Barstool has it, where you can like fucking bet all your bets in a parlay or something.
yeah, exactly. Oh well, a little big dog special or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I could do that. I had a couple 3-0 weeks, and people would have won.
yeah, that's a good idea. Now, obviously, you guys do Bagels and Lox and Fade the Public. Which one do you feel like you enjoy recording more? Obviously, it's not gonna I don't want to tear you apart or something doing that, but I was just wondering.
So they're very different filming wise. Like
Mhm.
Bagels and Lox is a much more like just relaxing like atmosphere where we know we're just kind of fucking around the whole
Yeah,
time. And that's also where it's a much shorter filming versus Fade the Public. I mean, Fade the Public is what got everything started. So I really do enjoy filming Fade the Public. Bagels and Lox is fun, but
yeah,
Fade the Public is like everything for us, for me at least. Like this is what started everything, and this is what really got me into this whole industry of just
yeah.
fantasy football, creating content, everything like that. So I'd probably go with Fade the Public.
Hmm. That makes
Plus, it's
sense.
it's always something different every week. There's so much more you can do. Whereas Bagels and Lox, it's the same thing. We're just picking games. It's
Yeah.
fun. I love it. But Fade the Public, there's so much more freedom and just a lot more that we could do. So I definitely enjoy that.
All right. Now going back to Fade the Public. Now I know you guys went down the shore. Now how many beers or how many drinks did Snacks have before that recording?
I mean,
Because
that
I
was
asked him and
when
he didn't seem to know.
I got there and he was already twisted up.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't tell you. I got there like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon and he was banged up. Then we played that Flip Cup game
Mhm.
and he got even more banged up. Then they went out. I didn't go out to the bar with him. They went out to the bar like late night. I stayed in and blew up an air mattress.
Mhm.
And they came back. They were pretty hammered. And then the next morning, we all woke up and he had a beer again. So just add that onto the tally. I
Yeah.
don't know how he did, to be honest with you, because I get to that point where I know, like, all right, I'm pretty drunk. If I drink anymore, I probably am not going to have a good time.
Mhm.
He hasn't had that line, so who knows? Who
All
knows? I'd
right.
probably over under I'd go 15 drinks,
All right.
15 and a half.
That's kind of
Over.
impressive, to be honest.
For a guy his size, yeah.
Yeah.
He's only $160, if that. I don't even think he's $150. Just kidding.
All right, now we're gonna get to the quick fire section of the video. It's not really quick fire. I'll probably be here for an hour. But the
That's
first
fine.
question is, who is your all-time favorite NFL player?
Ooh. So all time, I'm probably gonna say Peyton Manning because I actually got to watch like his whole career.
Yeah.
I wanted to say John Elway because he like was really, what got me started into football.
Mm-hmm.
But Peyton Manning, I got to watch his whole career. I loved watching him when he was on the Colts. And then obviously I loved it watching him even more when he was on the Broncos. Just the way he played the game. He was a true professional, class act all the time. Off the field, he was funny. He had all the commercials, and he's a comedian, like Saturday Night Live. Just everything he did on the field, off the field, just resonated with me. Peyton Manning all the way. He's hands down my favorite player. I still like Peyton's Places. I've seen every episode. It's on ESPN Plus. I've seen every episode. I love it. I love the guy.
That makes sense. My favorite player of all time is probably LT. I'm not even a Chargers fan, a Jets fan. I think it's just when I was younger, he was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I love LT.
Yeah,
like a maniac.
LT's amazing. Now, who's the NFL GOAT to you? I know most people say Tom Brady. Do you agree with them?
No.
No? Okay.
No, absolutely not.
Who is it?
And I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you. I don't think there is one. That's why. Because I don't see how you can – there's too many positions. There's too many eras. Mm-hmm. There's too many variables in this sport to say, like, someone is the greatest. Because Tom Brady had Bill Belichick. That's a big factor. Mm-hmm. He also throws a lot of screens. Like, how many deep balls does Tom Brady throw now? Like, definitely in his earlier career, I'm sure. Listen, Tom Brady's a very good quarterback. I think he's easily top 3, top 2, maybe you can argue that he's the best. I would take like a Peyton Manning or I might even take like a Brett Favre over a Tom Brady. As crazy as that sounds, and people are going to bash me for it.
Yeah.
I just think he's a guy who's the gunslinger. He just doesn't quit. He'll get hit and keep throwing. Like, I just think those guys are like the football players, whereas Tom Brady's been on a great team with a great coach for his entire career. Not taking anything away from him.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't like Tom Brady either. I'm a Dolphins fan. Can't stand the guy.
Yeah, well, exactly. So, yeah, that makes sense. You could agree.
Yeah. Are there any guys right now that you think should be in the Hall of Fame that are not in the NFL Hall of Fame right now?
So I would have said until the other day Steve Atwater, but he just got in. Other than that, I don't really know. I'd have to probably look at like a list. I was always upset that T.O. wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer because that was just blasphemy. I mean,
makes no sense.
He has to be a first. How could you not vote him in right away? What was he He's number 2 and 3 on the touchdown receiving list. Like, come on, it has to be. But I don't know. I'd have to probably look at like a list and see like who's not in right now. But recently, until this year, I would have said Steve Atwater. I know he's a Bronco, so I'm biased, but I mean, guy's fucking. You see the hit on Christian Okoye? I'm sure everyone's seen it.
It's on YouTube, all over it.
He hit so hard for a small little safety. So, yeah, definitely probably Steve Atwater, but he's in. So, congrats, Steve.
My thoughts would be Ocho Cinco. A lot of people have mixed opinions on him.
Yeah, he's like an all-time great, but is he like a Hall of Fame?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard. The NFL Hall of Fame makes no sense to me, if I'm being completely honest.
The problem is it's the Hall of Fame, so like, and at that point, I would say, yeah, probably Ocho Cinco does deserve him because he's a player that, he changed the game. You remember him, his era.
Yeah.
Ocho Cinco, he stands out. He's a name that you say everyone knows who he is. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah. I'd go Ocho Cinco for sure. I love Ocho Cinco.
Okay. Now what do you think about Eli? You think he's getting in there?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Do you think he deserves to be in there? That is the question.
I think he deserves to be in. I think he gets in. Okay. And the thing is, it's the second Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Like the people will argue like the Trent Dilfer, he won a Super Bowl. People, you can strike lightning.
Yeah.
But not twice. You don't do it twice. I don't care if he had shit career the rest of the way. Those 2 Super Bowls are his identity, and it takes away from Tom Brady and the legacy of the Patriots. So, yeah, Super Bowl. Hall of Famer all the way, all that.
I know for sure he's getting in. Do I think he deserves it? Kind of, but he's definitely getting in. There's no way they don't let a Manning in there.
I mean, I understand the argument. I understand why people say like he doesn't deserve it because outside of those 2 years, I mean, yeah,
Nothing.
he's in like top 10 lists, but that's just because of longevity. So it's tough, but I'd give it to him. He's Hall of Fame, sure. It's for the Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of Stats.
Yeah.
So like Hall of Fame, he's a famous player. He changed the game. You will remember Eli Manning forever. Get him in there.
Okay.
He deserves it.
You're a Broncos fan, so your opinion might be a bit different on this. Now, I see a lot of people on Twitter believe Phillip Rivers might get in there. What do you think? I don't think so. I don't think he deserves it.
I don't think he deserves it. I think you could see him getting in, but I don't think he deserves it because
not first ballot.
No, definitely not first ballot. No, I don't even think he really should be a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he's on like the top 10 list and like passing and touchdowns and all that stuff, but like all that goes to just longevity. That's just he played the game for a really long time, which granted is very hard to do, especially at the quarterback position, and he's done it very well. But he hasn't really done anything. He had those years with LT, and when they were good, and that was their chance, and they went to the AFC Championship, but they never did anything with that. So like if that was his opportunity, if he had made it to a Super Bowl and lost, I'd say put him in there.
Okay,
but never went.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll be in the Football Hall of Fame. Maybe the Hospital Hall of Fame for having like 12 kids. Maybe we'll get it there.
Who knows?
Yeah.
This guy's got 9 kids.
He does. Now,
insane.
Obviously on Twitter, I assume you've seen this now. A lot of people are talking about Darrelle Revis versus Richard Sherman. Do you have any opinion on this? I think Richard Sherman does not deserve anything.
Not even close. Darrelle Revis is a top 2 cornerback of all time, and he was a man cornerback. He literally took away the entire side of the field. They didn't throw to that side of the field. Mm-hmm. He covered somebody. They didn't catch the ball versus Sherm, who he's a great cornerback, but he's his own corner. He's got a safety helping him out his whole career. So, and we just saw him get exposed in the Super Bowl. You just watched him get burned. So, Sherm needs to shut up. He's got a big mouth. He talks a lot.
I know. It looked like he was on ice skates out there on Sunday. He wasn't doing anything.
Revis has all the right to trash. He can trash talk whatever he wants. He's top 2 cornerback of all time, probably the greatest quarterback of all time. So, it's not even close.
Most people forget that he even has a fucking Super Bowl ring with the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly. Patriots, but it's whatever.
Yeah,
still a ring.
A win's a win.
Exactly.
All right, now we're gonna pivot back to fantasy football here. What is your best ever selection personally for you in fantasy football? This might be a hard one. You might have to think about it for a little bit.
My best ever. I feel like I wrote this down.
Best ever pick. You may have written it down.
Let me see here.
It's pretty hard to figure out.
I know I have my worst.
Oh, well, then what's your worst? Give your worst first.
Start with my worst. So it was my first year in a new league, and it was the 9th round, and I took Matt Prater. Kicker, Matt Prater.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah. It was a 9-man roster, so I had all my 8 players, all my starters, and I was like, you know what? I want to get my entire starting lineup. I'm going to get everybody, even the kicker. So I drafted Matt Prater in the 9th round, and I got made fun of like bad. I still see people in that league that I don't talk to them anymore. I don't see them all, but if I run into them, it's something
I'll remind you about it.
Yeah. Like, hey, remember that time you took Matt Prater in the 9th round? That was stupid. So that's easily my worst. My best pick, I don't know if it's my best, but I did draft RG3 his rookie year.
Oh, okay. That's good.
And I did trade him the week before he got hurt. So
amazing.
I'll say that I'll probably go with that RG3 pick because he was awesome when he was playing, man. He had that 70-yard touchdown run that one game. I still remember it forever. He went right out to the left, ran right up the field, and I was freaking out. And then I traded him. But, yeah, RG3 that was probably my best pick. I think I took him in the 5th or 6th round in a super flex. So it was awesome.
All right. What are your opinion? This is just a football question itself. What is your opinion on Marcus Mariota?
As just like a quarterback?
As a player. Do you think he's like okay, or do you think he'll be on the Titans next year? What do you think happens to him?
I think he's definitely not going to be on the Titans. He needs a new scenery, and I think that a lot of players in the NFL just need to be on a new team, need a new coach, need someone to give them a little bit of life. Like Mariota's a talented quarterback. Yeah. He's a little banged up his career, and during his first couple of years, couldn't stay on the field for a whole season. Definitely, I think it's all up in here. It's a confidence issue. Like you can see he has the talent, the arm talent, all that's there, but the decision making is like just I don't even know what the fuck he's doing out there. This
Yeah.
season, he looked lost. So I think if you get him with the right coach, I think it could be all right. I'm not off Mariota yet. I'm not.
Okay. Are you still aboard his other friend, Jameis Winston? Are you on the Jameis Winston train? Do you
Oh, I
believe in
love
him?
him.
Okay, I do
He's
too.
electric. It's an electric factory. The guy is
Exactly.
so fun to watch play. Number one, for fantasy purposes, that's a whole nother category because I mean the highs and the lows. I mean,
It's crazy.
if you own him or if you're playing against him, it's just you're in for a day. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have yourself a day. Yeah, I'm all about Jameis. I'm actually excited to see what happens with him because is he going to stay with the Bucks? Is he going to go to a team and maybe not throw 40 or 30 interceptions?
Who knows?
We'll see. I think he's another one that could probably just use a change of scenery
Yeah.
and get a different coach in there.
I kind of like him with Bruce Arians, though. I think Arians is a good coach.
He's just gun there, dude. He just throws the ball though.
It's crazy.
It's not sustainable. Like they're not going to be able to win ever doing that. You can't win games throwing 4 picks. You're not going to win a Super Bowl.
But it's fun.
Yeah, it's great for us. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, I guess if for us, sure, I guess I would like to see him back on the Bucks because I don't want to not have Jameis in my life because if he goes somewhere else, he might not start or something could happen. So yeah, I want Jameis in my life. I'd say keep him on the Bucks.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I like him and Chris Godwin on my fantasy team. That's what I like.
Ooh, I'm all about the Godwin.
Exactly.
That was one of my best picks. Took him this year.
Me too. I got him as well. It was awesome.
I had him in the 4th, and he carried me to the playoffs, and that was that.
And he got hurt. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Exactly. Now, obviously, a lot of talk goes around about you guys moving to New York for the new HQ. How excited are you about that?
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that actually because
it's in your house now.
Well, so right now, yeah, everything kind of just goes out of my basement. So, but the problem with it is so Nick's in Brooklyn right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really get together as much as I'd like. I'm like a type of person, I like to sit down with everybody and brainstorm. I want to sit down, have a meeting, what are we going to talk about today? What are some talking points? Just so we're not all over the place because we do kind of get all over the place sometimes. Yeah. We get, we'll start talking about something and then someone will think of something and then they'll throw that out there and we'll start talking about that. So I'm looking forward to being able to sit down, everybody, we have a place. We know we're all going to be there. Nick's going to be there. We can sit down. We can crank out new content. We can brainstorm. We can just have a space where we can go to all the time. I'm here for the most part, but yeah. Nick's in Brooklyn, so he can't get here. So Snacks can come over and we can do something. But if we're all in the city, we can just get together and just make stuff happen. It's really just about being together, and that's the big issue right now. We're all just kind of spread out. So yeah, once we all get in that same spot, I think we're gonna make some magic happen.
Yeah, exactly. You guys can make more of the man on the street stuff, for the Fade the Public.
Yeah, exactly. Just even little social clips that we can go out and do something just throwing a football on the street or something. Just something funny happens, pop it up on the Instagram or something. Little things like that.
Yeah, definitely. They go a long way for you guys. Now, you've become a Dynasty guy as well. You've played Dynasty now. Is this your first year this year?
Yes.
Okay, so I just started to play next year, technically. I haven't had the draft yet, but do you
feel ready for your startup?
Yeah. So do you feel like you like Dynasty more than season long now, or are you still a season long guy?
I'd probably say I'm still a season long guy, just because you get that that new excitement every year. And for the draft, absolutely love the draft. I look forward to it every year. So definitely redraft still over Dynasty, but Dynasty's growing on me, man. It's really fun. The fact that you're kind of your own GM, that's the whole thing. We've been playing Madden and all this stuff for years. My whole life I've been playing all these games where I own my own team or I start a franchise. Yeah. And now it's I have my own little franchise. I got a nice little team, got a cool name. I'm the owner. I can make some trades. If someone pisses me off, I can cut them. So I got all the power. It's fun. It's just one of those things where it requires a lot of work. You really do got to pay attention, because if you're not making moves, if you're not trying to wheel and deal, someone else in the league will be, and you feel you're losing even though it's the off season. But people are making moves, and what am I doing? I'm falling behind. I got to do something. So it's a constant hustle, man. Mm-hmm. But it's fun. It's definitely grown on me a lot.
Yeah. That makes sense. You said you joined Nick's league 5 years ago. Now, when you first joined, the video cameras were starting then, I believe. Did Nick record the first draft?
I I think my second year he did the confession cam.
Okay.
I think he might have had like a shit vlog the first year,
Hmm.
like just trying it out. I'd have to go back and look, but
I
I
was just
definitely
wondering.
remember a confession cam my
Okay.
second year, I believe it was.
All right. I was just wondering if that like made you like nervous being on camera then, because you obviously didn't start Fade the Public or anything yet. Was that like weird being on
No, no.
camera? Because Snacks
Uh,
said it was.
I probably didn't really think about it. I think like when he, Nick's always very open about stuff like that. So he came in and said like, "Hey, I got this confession cam. It's going to be in the corner over here. If you guys want, like, you just turn it on. You can do this. If not, don't worry about it."
Hmm.
And I think the first year I did like one quick like thing, like, "Yeah, I did this guy, blah blah." Blah. And like the second year, I was like, I want to be a little more involved. So like I did a couple little extra things, and then now it's normal. I feel like we should be filming everything.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hire someone and just fucking walk around following us with a camera.
Exactly. Do you feel like fantasy, like your league, has gotten much harder ever since like Nick's channel has taken off, or do you feel like it's still like the same exact thing?
I don't know if it's gotten like actually harder or just more like competitive.
Hmm.
So like it's pretty much the same people. We had like a little turnover. Like Stevie One Chain came in like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
but I think the competition has certainly increased. Everyone cares a little bit more. You can definitely tell, especially like with like Snacks and like the few. There's like 4 or 5 people in the league that really care, and then the other people like they got their wives and kids where they still care,
Yeah.
but it's still competitive. I would say it just puts more pressure probably on like us because I can't come in last place.
Yeah.
If I come in last place, I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot. So like definitely more pressure. I don't think the league's gotten harder though. Maybe I just make it harder on myself.
Do you feel like your guys' buy-in will ever hit a stage where you just keep it there, or do you think it's just going to continue to rise?
Let's see. I mean, we're pretty much right now. It's like $50 a year. It goes up.
Hmm.
So eventually, it would have to stop. I would hope
Okay.
because it'd be too insane. But I think I could see it being like $1,000 cap. It's kind of one of those things where we're gonna have to have the whole league agree upon it.
Hmm.
So I guess as long as everyone's making money, we'll be all right. I don't know, $500, $1,000. I don't see it going more than $1,000.
Okay. Now, your guys' league is a super flex league. Do you enjoy playing leagues that aren't super flex, or are you just like really committed to super flex now? Because I've never played in a super flex league except for this dynasty one I'm in now.
Oh, really? So yeah, I actually used to be super against Superflex leagues. Was
Hmm.
very against it because I used to prep for the draft a lot. I used to really like to be ready for the draft. And when, Superflex just came out, there wasn't really a lot to like use to prepare for the draft because now that there's 2 quarterbacks, it screws everything up because
Hmm.
you're getting, quarterbacks are going in the first round. Like it's like a real draft.
Yeah.
So it ruined the draft for me. So I was very against it at first. Now it's become so normal that I have no problem with it. I don't like love it or hate it. It's become normal for me. Like
Okay.
if it's not super flex, it's weird almost.
Yeah.
I'm only in one league now that's not super flex, and it's the same league that they have like waiver wire, like waiver priority.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm all fab in every other league. So like
Okay.
waiver priority and all that stuff. It's just old school for me.
Okay. So do you feel like Fab is definitely the way to go? Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. It's easy.
Okay.
It's easier for everybody, I think, because
Yeah.
like you just bid and that's it. You bid and whatever happens, happens. You don't have to wait for this priority bullshit. People aren't picking up people because they don't want to waste their priority. It's stupid. Just give everyone
It is.
$100 fab and have a blast.
Okay. Now, what is your opinion on keepers? I honestly don't remember.
Uh,
You like it?
I like keepers if you have some type of like a rule where they got to go back in the pot because there's so many different rules for keepers. Like I used to be in a league where you could keep someone in the first round. So like someone had Adrian Peterson, they kept him for 3 years. There was no like you had to put him back. I like keepers as long as there's like a round, like keepers after like the 8th round, and then after you can only keep them for 1 year, then they go
Mhm.
back into the pool, like something like that. I'm okay with that. I like that because it makes those late rounds in the draft extra exciting because you're like, I got a couple of guys up my sleeve for next year that could be a keeper,
Mhm.
So I'm into keepers. I think
Okay.
next year we're going to try and put him back in the E-Town League.
Okay. Now, what's your go-to draft day food? Like, what's the thing when you guys are at the draft that you really want to eat? Unless there's no food there, I would assume there is. But
Oh,
there's
there's
a lot of
always
alcohol. There's
food.
definitely a lot of alcohol there,
There's
based on what
always
I see.
food. If there's no food at the draft, I don't want to go to the draft
Okay.
because that's like it's a main attraction for me.
Mhm.
I mean, we have a good variety. Last year we had like some Italian meats and like roasted red peppers and stuff. That was great. It wouldn't be like my first thought to bring to the draft, but someone always brings donuts.
Okay.
There's always donuts at the draft, and that's probably one of my go-tos. I always grab a donut, nice
Okay.
glazed donut, depending on where they're from. But yeah,
You should
donuts, big time.
definitely go bring your Stromboli next time.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe next year I'll have the draft here, and I'll cook a nice Italian dinner for everybody.
That'd be good. Now, this is pivoting completely off of football. Now, what is your favorite movie ever? This is a very hard question.
It bounces. I don't know if there's one. I'd have to go between Goodfellas because it's just absolutely amazing. Actually, that probably is my favorite movie.
Okay.
Goodfellas. But I was going to say Bloodsport, close second, because I could literally watch Bloodsport anytime from any part. You could put it on. I could sit there and watch it and enjoy it. It's just that good. There's just so much fighting and blood. And I'm all about that. I love it.
Okay, that makes sense. What's your favorite TV show then?
Ooh, I mean, Sopranos.
All right, that makes sense. That's what I asked Snacks. What besides The Sopranos? That's probably what I was asking you.
Probably have to lean. Like I'm a big comedy guy. I love comedies. This is so hard, man. I like Curb Your Enthusiasm or Seinfeld even, or even like The League. I fucking love The League.
Yeah, that's my favorite
fantasy
show.
Football right now. Let's go with The League because the characters in that show just they're I can relate to them because I'm a crazy person too, and they do all that crazy shit, and you watch it and you like want to do that stuff with your friends. You can like I want to call up my friends and call them all these stupid names. I want to like send them a video making fun of their team. So it's relatable. I'd probably go with The League. That show's hysterical.
Okay. Now going back to fantasy football, obviously there's no shade at the people who I mentioned here, but obviously the fantasy footballers, they're at the top, right? Do you think that anyone will ever pass them? Or do you think they're like tough. They hit like the moon and you can't pass them?
I mean, they're like scaled so much in such a short amount of time. I mean, I remember listening to the fantasy footballers in like 2014. I was commuting to college. I was going back to school, and I remember it was like a 45-minute, 50-minute drive. So I'd put the podcast on, listen to the whole thing all the way, and like they weren't really anybody's back then.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like they just blew up. So I don't know if anybody will ever actually top them because they got so big so fast, and they're consistently good, and they're growing still. And I just watched the video that Nick did with Andy, and you can still see like the business mindset. Like Andy's still growing as like a businessman, as an entrepreneur. So I don't know if anyone will ever top them. Probably not. I think they're the tippy top, and they'll stay there at least for as long as I could see.
Do you think people will ever take fantasy football more like seriously, like on like Twitter and stuff? Because a lot of people, you see people who are like just strictly NFL guys and they hate fantasy football, like Big Cat,
Yeah,
Barstool, those kind of guys. Do you think that'll ever change, or do you think it'll always be like that?
I mean, I feel like fantasy is kind of like it's in its own like space. So I don't see much changing. I definitely, it's going to keep growing. It's something that's growing so fast, and it's just getting involved everywhere. You're seeing different games and different types of people getting involved. I mean, it's really tough to say. I'd say I think you probably will. I mean, it's something that I don't see how it's going to stop growing. Unless football dies, I mean, it's going to be everywhere. People will always be talking about fantasy football. I think it's something that comes up and like. Like people who like moms like do it. Moms play fantasy football. Like it's everywhere.
Now, obviously, this is going back to regular football again here, but do you think that Antonio Brown will ever play another snap in the NFL? Because personally, I think he will. You don't think so?
No, I think the dude's lost his marbles.
I think he has too.
It's sad. I mean, I don't you don't want to joke about like mental illness or anything like that, but like the he's fucking nuts.
He's crazy.
He's doing crazy shit. Like as soon as he stopped being like the center of attention in the NFL world and being on a team, being like the all-star and all that, he went to like all these crazy antics, and he's just like trying to get attention. Now he's doing the thing where he's might fight Logan Paul or whatever. Like it's just you can see that he wants the attention, and I don't think that a NFL team is going to want to bring that in at this point. And after give him another year or two, like his name, he fades, and you just forget about him. Some new stud comes in, and you forget about Antonio Brown. So
Yeah.
I think he's done.
He's different every day too. You see, one day he's yelling at the police about his baby mama. Now on Instagram today, post a picture with her. Like, what the fuck
Yeah,
are you doing?
I mean, and NFL GMs see this, and like if we can see how crazy he is, they can see
Yeah.
it too. So like you don't want to pay that man money and have him fuck your organization up.
Yeah.
So no.
Do you think the fact that he's crazy will hinder him entering the Hall of Fame? Because he is a Hall of Fame receiver. If you think about it.
Yeah, not even close. 100% Hall of Fame receiver. I think you might see like he'll have like a similar like a Terrell Owens effect where like he'll definitely get in. Maybe not first ballot because people remember, recency bias, all that stuff. They'll remember like, the end of his career, all the nonsense that happened with the Steelers, and then the stuff that happened with the Raiders. He didn't go out in a good way, but he's a lock for the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Has to be.
That makes sense. Do you think that Drew Brees returns this year, or do you think that they go with like Taysom Hill, Teddy Bridgewater?
Drew Brees returns to the Saints?
Yeah, like he stays at the Saints. Or do you think he moves on? Maybe goes to the Chargers. Revenge.
A
little
reunion?
Revenge. Yeah, reunion, I guess.
I hope he doesn't go to the Chargers because I don't want him in our division. I don't see him going anywhere else, man. I think if he's gonna play like he says he is, he's gonna be a Saint.
Okay.
It has to be that way. And I think what's gonna happen is Teddy Bridgewater is gonna end up leaving. You're gonna have Breeze and Taysom, and then we'll see what happens with the future. But I think it looks like it's gonna be Taysom Hill for now.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. Now, do you watch the NFL honors or no?
No.
No? Okay. So
I'll watch some clips, but like I'm not gonna sit there and watch it.
Okay, because I'm just wondering why the fuck anyone would watch it when they tweet out who won 3 hours before. Does that make any sense?
Exactly. So I was actually I'm actually still upset about there was 2 or 3 years ago when there was the Man of the Year award was who was it? It was Eli Manning, Greg Olson, and the other person that won, Larry Fitzgerald. It was 3 nominees, and they had co-winners. They gave it to Greg Olson. No, they gave it to Larry Fitzgerald and Eli Manning, and Greg Olson just sat there like, all right. And that's when I was done with them. I was like, that's ridiculous. How do you give the Man of the Year award to 2 people when there's 3 nominees and just leave the third nominee out?
Yeah, I know.
So NFL honors, I don't know.
Okay. I'm pretty sure a few years ago, Dak and Zeke both got Rookie of the Year.
Probably. Why not? Everything's got to be fair. You got to be fair for everybody.
Makes no fucking sense.
Soft world.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what is your opinion? Do you ever think the officiating in the league will ever get better? Or do you think it's just like going to be the same shit every single year? We are sitting there pissed every time watching a game.
I don't see how it can get better. I think the only way it would get better is if the refs just take a step back and just kind of don't ref. As people are complaining about that Super Bowl game.
I didn't really see anything wrong.
There was definitely like 2 or 3 calls that were very obvious, but it's only because those were the only calls of the game. If you really watch the game, there wasn't really that many flags. It was just a game. They just let them kind of play football, and it's good and bad because if you watch it, there's probably a million holding calls that you could call and that weren't called that do affect the outcome of the game. But I mean, it's a tough job, and as long as the games are somewhat watchable still, I'm okay with it. I don't think anything's going to change. I don't think it's going to get worse or better, but I need bigger flags. Yeah. Bigger flags.
Yeah, and you can't have the fucking screen at the bottom be yellow and then the flag shows as some different color or something.
Yeah, well, they tried that one day. They tried that on Monday Night Football, and they changed it immediately.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
I've been an advocate for bigger flags in the NFL for a while now because I believe if you have a bigger flag in your pants, you're not going to want to throw that every time. It's big, it's heavy, it looks stupid. You're not going to throw it every time. So bigger flags in the NFL, that's how we could fix it if you really want to get something going. You want to write a letter?
Yeah, we should write it in.
I'm down.
All right, we'll work on that after that. Now,
okay.
Do you think that robot refs will ever be a thing? Because I see people talking about how they need the computer or to look at it to figure out if something's a penalty. But I mean, your human eye should be able to tell that Saints thing was a penalty against when LA fucking hit the Saints guy.
Oh, the pass interference. Yeah. For football, I don't think you could do it just because there's too much going on. There's too many. You'd have to have too many. You have 4 robots, 5 robots. It seems like it'd be much more of a what's the word I'm looking for here? A task than just have humans do it.
Yeah, it would work better in baseball or something, to see where the pitches go.
Yeah, exactly. I think you'll see in the NFL just more use of like cameras
Hmm.
being like, they install like the pylon cams. I think we'll see more things like that that will help them. Like maybe like I know Steve has always talked about he wants a chip in the ball. He doesn't know how it's going to work or anything like that, but he just wants it in the ball. So maybe we'll see something like that. I think
Yeah.
technology will certainly help advance it, but who knows when.
All right. Do you think that the XFL is going to take off? I think you guys are going this weekend. Our
Yeah, we
Guardians
are.
team, go Guardians over
Big. Go
here.
Guardians. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you excited for that? Do you think that'll ever like become something, or do you think it's just gonna be like the AAF or whatever that thing was called, where you kind of just watched it and it was just okay?
So I don't think it will be like the AAF. I think it will definitely be better.
Okay.
But I'm not like, I'm excited for it for sure because I just love football. So anytime I get to watch something football related, I'm always down. It's going to come down to the product on the field. I mean, is it going to be fun to watch? Are these guys going to suck? Are they going
Yeah.
to, are there going to be big plays? Are there going to be, high scoring games? Like that's really what it's going to come down to. I think it will be good. I mean, we saw, did you, I watched the first XFL when
No, I
that
was
started.
like 3 years old when they
Yeah.
were
Okay.
playing that.
So that was when they had the New York Hitmen or whatever it
Hmm.
was. I watched that, and I mean, I was young, but I remember I enjoyed it. It was football.
Hmm.
I had fun watching it. I remember instead of like a coin toss, they had like the ball was at like the 50-yard line, and you had to
Yeah.
sprint and
It was
you
a
had to grab
race.
the ball. Yeah, like that's awesome. So like if they do some little things that change it up a little bit from the NFL, I could see it being a success for sure. Plus, you got Vince McMahon, so guy's a businessman. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I brought that up primarily because there was that issue with Pat McAfee, who they thought he was going to be a part of the game, where he would just be like a sideline reporter who would go into the
Mm-hmm.
huddle and talk to the guys. Obviously, you can't do that in the NFL, but the thing talking about how Stevie One Chain thought that you could put a chip in the ball, maybe
Mm-hmm.
put a fucking camera on the ref and you watch what the ref sees.
I'm
Something
all
like
about.
that.
I've been saying for probably like 10 years now. I wanted the NFL to have a like helmet cam on the
Hmm.
quarterback and like even all the players, and do like a pay-per-view channel where you see inside the huddle and they're
That's
talking.
awesome.
They say the play and like they're cursed and whatever goes on. It's like an uncensored NFL game. It would never happen because the NFL is too wholesome
Hmm.
to well they're wholesome, but if the XFL could pull something off like that, I think that's something that people would want to see. It's different,
Hmm.
and you get to see like the ins and outs and stuff that you would never really know what's going on, like the arguments in the huddle, everything like that. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think people would watch every single game if you could hear everything the coach is saying or everything the players are saying
Yeah, I
like
mean,
that.
imagine the quarterbacks in the play. He calls the play, and then someone says like, imagine Antonio Brown's chirping at Big Ben like he wants the ball. Like you'd be hearing all that conversation. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and like it's kind of like on Last Chance U. You'll hear like some guy, the coach call a play, he just changes the play. Fuck it.
Uh huh.
Quarterback changes the play. The coach is pissed at the quarterback. They're yelling at each other. It'd be so
Yeah, I
fun.
mean, it's a pipe dream. Probably won't ever happen, but I think it would be awesome content. So, XFL, if you're watching, put some fucking helmet cams in there.
Exactly. Do you watch any of those football shows or no?
Football shows like
Like Last Chance U or the Amazon one for the NFL. Do you watch any of those or no?
I love the Amazon one,
I
the
love that one too. The Panthers one this
All
year.
or Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that show. Because it's kind of like what we were just talking about. You get that inside look and into what's going on throughout the season. Like Hard Knocks is awesome. I love it, but it's just training camp. Like it's not that great. All or Nothing. You see like what happened that season. Like you see, like I wasn't a Jason Garrett fan at all, really, and then I watched the Dallas Cowboys All or Nothing, and I was like, I kind of like the way this guy coaches. Like he
Yeah.
was cursing, he's fiery. I had no problem with Jason Garrett. I'm not a Giants fan or anything like that, so it doesn't matter. But like, I don't know. That show. I love the ins and outs. I love the behind the scenes,
Hmm.
and I just love seeing like the football guy in these football players and the coaches.
Exactly. I like the Last Chance U one, even though it's more based on college. That one's pretty good as well.
Yeah, that one's good.
I think that the mic'd up stuff is like it's so crazy how they let stuff like that, some of the stuff air, to be honest with you. Like the seeing ghost thing was so fucking funny.
Uh
Like how
huh.
does that air? I still don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, so have you ever seen Inside the NFL?
Yeah.
That was a show that used to be on HBO, like when it first started, and I remember watching that. That was the first time I ever saw anything mic'd up. Like,
Hmm.
and then when they show you like the clips of the games and they show you the full speed, and you like hear the pads hitting and like the guys. That was probably my favorite show of all time. It's kind of died down since then, but
Hmm.
those mic'd up clips are That's some of my favorite content to watch of any football. I like the Sound FX show. I think they got rid of it. It was
Yeah.
on NFL Network for a while. I used to watch every episode of that. It all it was just like 30 minutes of like guys talk on the sideline, but like it's awesome.
All right. So obviously we talked about all or nothing. Now this year it already was recorded, obviously. So who would you want to see next year if you could just do it? What
So it'd be
team?
based off of this season.
I guess no, next season, because this season was already recorded. It's whatever team they chose. So like for next season, who do you
It's the
think?
Panthers, right? Oh, that was last year.
That was the Panthers
this
was
year?
this year. No, they don't release it yet. It comes
Oh,
out
they
like
didn't?
in
I thought
like
they
the
did. I
summer.
thought there was like a leak.
Oh, maybe. I don't know who it was then.
I thought there was a leak. I don't know. I think Nick might know. But
Okay.
if I had to pick one team, it would be based off of this year's or next year.
Next, like for next year.
For next year, uh,
I don't know if it's crazy. I'd say the Giants. I think like new coach.
yeah, I'd probably go with like I'd want. I'd have to see like what happens, but I would love to see like a team with like a veteran core. Like if Tom Brady was still playing and he went to a different team, I would love to see that. Like the ins and outs of like. So you've seen him with Bill. I've seen like all the behind the scene videos. Like let's see how he reacts with a different coach or how he meshes with them, how he does with all those players in the locker room. Like I would be very interested in seeing like old veteran players versus like the new guys because they're going to be there for years. I'll have plenty of time to see them. I like want to see all these, probably one of those teams that have like a old retiring quarterback.
Do you ever think that Hard Knocks? I assume you watch it, right? You watch it.
Oh yeah.
Do you let that ever affect you? Because this year it really affected me. I thought Josh Jacobs was going to be great, and he was strictly based off that show.
It's always got like a little effect. Like it definitely showed me who Darren Waller was. I had no idea who he was before that. And I definitely had put him on my radar after. But if I kind of have like my mind made up about something, unless I see something that's like really, I would have to see like a game to actually change my mind. So Hard Knocks probably doesn't, like, at least not for the draft. No, preseason games, that's what gets in my head. I will see a preseason game and see something, and that will fuck with me when it shouldn't.
Oh yeah,
Hard Knocks not so much.
Yeah, the preseason really does fuck with you. Like Baker Mayfield looked great in that one preseason game he played, and he fucking sucked all season.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like stuff like that. I mean, and you shouldn't look at preseason games and like take them too seriously, but
you always do.
And I'll still do it. So yeah, I just get in my own head for that shit. But Hard Knocks, nah.
Okay. I know you guys said you wouldn't go to Las Vegas for the draft. Now, who do you want the Broncos to draft?
I mean, I've been clamoring for us to get O-linemen for forever, but like I feel like we kind of have some O-linemen now. So like I don't really want, and where we are, we're 15. We're gonna end up getting a wide receiver. That's kind of like what the team needs right now. We want to get someone for Drew Lock opposite Cortland Sutton. I think it's going to be Jerry Jeudy or Henry Ruggs. And everyone's leaning towards Ruggs right now because of the speed. I'd rather have Jeudy because I think he's more of a complete NFL wide receiver in the long run versus just a fast guy who can run good routes.
Okay.
So I would love to see Jerry Jeudy on the Broncos.
Do you feel like do you like Drew Lock? Like I like watching Drew Lock. Do you think he's good? Or do you think that he's just like a filler and then a couple of years ship his ass out, get someone else?
It's tough to say, man. The guy's played only a couple of games.
Yeah.
So I have to give him I want to see him play a full season before I really like make any judgments on him because I mean, as of right now, I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, I believe he's the franchise because that's just what I want. And I want to be like a positive fan. I bought the jersey already. It's hanging up in the closet. Still got the tag on, just in case. But I'd say, yeah, I think he's going to be around for a little while. I think we'll see. I think he'll definitely play out his rookie contract in Denver. So he's got another 4 years.
Do you let the fact that you're a Broncos fan ever affect you in fantasy? Do you ever be like, fuck, let me get Cortland Sutton, something like that? Because I'm a Dolphins fan and our players all suck, so I don't even think about it.
Yeah, I did like
when you were younger.
Peyton Manning, like years back, I was like, I know Peyton's gonna throw a fucking ton of touchdowns. I want Peyton. I definitely wanted the Broncos wide receivers then too. Probably not so much now, no, because the team's kind of been down in the past couple of years. Like you said, like you're a Dolphins fan, you know that there's really not a lot you would really want to draft from them. Same thing with the Broncos. Outside of Phillip Lindsay and Cortland Sutton, there's really nothing desirable. No fan, okay, but he's a tight end, so who cares?
All right. Are you like all in on Philip Lindsay, or do you think that Royce Freeman will ever develop into something? Because I think Freeman has the skill set to do something. I just don't know if he ever will.
Yeah, I when we drafted Freeman, I was all over him. I loved that pick. And then when Philip Lindsay like broke out, I figured, this is good, but I don't know. I don't know if I really believe in Lindsay. It's like I don't think he can do it consistently year after year. He's like the size of a scat back who he's not going to be a 3-down back. That's the problem with Lindsay. So long term, I don't know if I believe in Lindsay. It's a great story. I love the kid. I hope he fucking plays for Denver and does great things. But long term, I think Royce Freeman would be the more ideal pick at running back to like have a longer career. I don't think he's gonna get the opportunity though, like you said.
Oh, okay.
So it's tough.
Yeah, I felt like a lot of people were very high on him when he was a rookie 2 years ago, I believe it was, and now there's really no hype around him. You don't really see a lot of people talking about him.
Problem is with running backs, you have such a short window.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to 1 or 2 years to prove yourself, and if like you haven't been doing anything special and no one else really believes in you, there's so many running backs coming in and out of the league, like guys like Damian Williams, stuff like that. Those guys, how many of those guys got passed over and didn't get that second chance? Like who knows? There's how many Damian Williams are out there that are sitting on their couch that were on a team, didn't get the right opportunities, got cut, and just needed a second chance, and they never got it. So,
yeah. I think it's funny how Damian Williams was on Miami, and then he wins his Super Bowl in Miami.
Yeah.
Quite poetic.
You watch him play for Miami, it looks like the guy doesn't know how to fucking run the ball. And then all of a sudden he gets a second chance in a new system, maybe coach him up a little bit, and guy should have been Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
So
does that make you mad that he's not the MVP? Because I see a lot of people in the comments and Twitter pissed off that Mahomes won. Do you think that
I'm pissed the Chiefs won, so
okay. But do you think that he deserved it? Mahomes deserved the MVP?
No, because the game he almost lost that game. He should have lost that game. 49ers should have won that game.
Oh yeah, 100%. They choked.
Mahomes gave them every chance to win that game and earlier on. Granted, he made all the plays in the last, 7 minutes or whatever it was to win them the game. But I think if you're going to look throughout, from first quarter to fourth quarter, who was more solid throughout the game, it's Damian Williams.
Okay.
He probably should have been the MVP. Yeah. It's just, the quarterback effect.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think
quarterback everything?
Do you think that Shanahan is the biggest choke artist in the NFL right now? He has to be. In the fourth quarter, he choked for the Falcons against the Patriots, and then he chokes this.
I know. And you know what sucks too is I'm a Shanahan guy. I love Shanahan. Mike Shanahan was the coach of the Broncos. I wanted Kyle Shanahan to be the coach of the Broncos when he was going around looking for his job. So I was hurt when he didn't take it, when we didn't offer him. We took Vance Joseph instead. So yeah, it pains me to say it, but yeah, I think he is because like you said, you strike lightning once, it's whatever, but that's twice.
Yeah.
That's the second time that you blew a double-digit lead in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and out of the Super Bowl history, I think it's been it's 30-3 in leading by 10+ points in the fourth quarter, and he's lost twice. There's only been 3 fucking times they've lost.
Yeah, it's terrible. He got too cute. I don't know what he was doing. Just run the ball. Learn your lesson, man. I don't know. It's sad. You hate to see it, but yeah, probably biggest choke artist right now for sure.
I saw some video that if Atlanta kneeled the ball every single play from the second quarter on, or second half on, they would have won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just just know that. I feel like everybody else knew that Jimmy Garoppolo was not the guy to win you the game, except for Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, no, but I don't know if he did because when the first quarter or first half was ending, he showed no confidence. It was like when the Jags fucked over Blake Bortles against the Patriots. They should have let him go when he was hot. Same thing.
Exactly. Well, yeah, he had no confidence in Jimmy G in the second, right before halftime. They should have called a timeout, tried to put a drive together and get down there and score. And then last second, that throw to Kittle that gets called back. Mm-hmm. Then he realizes, oh shit, we actually had a chance. Well, it's too late now. Yeah. So he didn't believe in him. Then he didn't believe in him at the right time or the wrong time. Then he believed him at the wrong time. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm not going to try and figure that one out.
Do you think that the owners should be able to call a timeout? Because you saw whatever the guy's name is. I
Oh,
forgot
John
his name.
Lynch.
Lynch. He's like calling fucking timeout up there. Do you think they should be able to call a timeout? Because that would be definitely
Nah.
very interesting.
I mean, he's the owner. He hired those guys to do that job.
Okay.
They should know to call a fucking timeout there. That was just bad coaching, just mismanagement.
Yeah, definitely. I just thought it'd be funny if you just see the coach or not the owner just calling the timeout for you, and the coach is pissed, and the coach is yelling at the guy. It'd be funny.
Yeah, that's another guy I'm a fan of, Lynch, the former Bronco, good guy, great owner, great GM. So,
all right, how do you like Elway as like the whatever he is on the Broncos? Do you think that he's a good eye for quarterbacks?
So I like Elway overall as the guy who is in charge of our drafts.
Mm-hmm.
He has not been successful drafting quarterbacks. 100%, I will give you that. I argue about this with Snacks all the time, actually, because he says it's time for Elway to go.
I don't think he'll ever go. He'll never go.
That's also just like the typical not Broncos fan saying that, who doesn't know. Like, he's actually had some very successful drafts in the past couple of years, and he also made all the moves necessary for us to win Super Bowl 50. So I will remember that forever, and I will thank him for that forever. And I won't say Elway has to go because he's doing a solid job. We still have a lot of great picks in the second through seventh rounds. It's just that first round he can't get down, which granted that's a problem. You got to be able to nail your first round picks, but he's not bombing these drafts. So
yeah,
we're not suffering really from it. We're hurting. We're not suffering.
Okay. Do you personally root against the Giants because of Snacks? Because I root against them because most of my friends are Giants fans.
So it depends on the week. If he's pissing me off that week, for sure, And we also make a lot of bets. So I'll make a bet with Snacks. Like we made one this year where it was the Broncos versus the Giants, who's going to have a better record. Mm-hmm. I won that one easily. Still haven't seen any money from it because obviously Snacks isn't going to pay me. But
Scott, you can clip that, send it to him.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say. Probably not, because I don't want him to be in a bad mood. I don't want him coming in screaming and getting all upset and shit. So if he's a happy Snacks, that's fine with me. I like to see him happy. Plus, they're the NFC, so it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, now I told this tale to Snacks. Now, the reason why I don't like Giants fans is because I went to a Giants game 2 years ago. They were playing up against your best friend, Derrick Henry, and it was raining in MetLife. And it's like week 15, and the Dolphins are playing up against the Vikings. So I'm wearing a Dolphins jersey in the stadium. And the Giants need the Vikings to win for them to make the playoffs. Last year, I think it was. Not this year, but like the season before, if you know what I'm saying. And a bunch of people were like booing me, like, why are you wearing a Dolphins jersey? Do you not know who the Dolphins are playing? Do you not know that we need to win? Like, it's just funny how like stupid those guys are. Like, you would expect someone who comes to the game screaming.
They like to run their mouths a lot. Big yappers. I remember my first Giants game for probably the entire first half. There's this guy in front of me, hammered out of his mind, just going, "Go Big Blue!" over and over again, constantly the entire time for like half an hour until he passed out and he stopped saying it because he was sleeping. But that's just the kind of fans they are. They're loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, I went to a Jets game when they played the Dolphins. I think it was my junior or senior year of high school. This dude looked like Brock Lesnar. It was the winter. It was like snowing. And he's dressed in shorts, a Jets jersey, and fucking sandals. And he threw up everywhere next to me.
What a beast.
He was a beast, though. It was an alpha move, though. He was like...
I love that. The sandals, that's a fucking beast move.
It was. It was snowing. He was walking through the snow in the sandals.
That's my kind of dude right there. That's awesome. I'm going to do that shit.
You should. You should do it at the tailgate this weekend.
I might, actually. Maybe. I might have to do that.
All right. Now, we're nearing the end here. I really don't know what else to say here. I'm kind of out of questions here. We've been here for a while. It's probably been over an hour, I think.
Yeah, I'm having a good time. I'm just talking, so.
Yeah, we're just having a good time here. So would you like me to shout anything out here? And then maybe I'll think of a question. I'll ask you one last one.
No. I mean, just watch Fade the Public. Watch Bagels and Locks. Follow my my Twitter. I provide some... I don't know what the word is for. I'm going to say interesting bets and advice on some gambling. So I got some gambling takes. Not always the best, but interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you like freak athletes, I post some freak athletes on there. I'm a freak athlete myself. Yeah. You could be a freak athlete too.
All right. I thought of a good question here. Have you ever thought about you guys doing now? The fantasy footballers did this a few years ago. Have you guys doing like a combine, like you versus Nick versus Snacks?
Oh,
combine?
Dude, I've been wanting to do that since like day one. That was one of the first things I wanted to do. Okay. I wanted to actually, because Nick and I had an argument about this because he thinks he's more athletic than me.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, Nick's an athletic dude, but he doesn't really know what he's talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a different breed here. I think the only thing he'll beat me in would be the 40. He's definitely faster than me. He's got the speed. I got a little more weight, so probably not going to be as fast as him. But yeah, I'm all about that. I would love to do just to embarrass Snacks too, because we all know how that would go.
Yeah. All right. One last question here. Now, last year I was watching your guys' live stream during the Saints and the Rams game, and I actually won a shirt. I have a fucking dangerous Baker Mayfield shirt in my house.
Oh, yeah?
That I won
All
from the
right.
stream. Now, you guys were asking Herd of Goats recommendations, okay?
Yes.
And I said rank your best porn stars, and you guys didn't do it. Why has that not happened? Nick wrote it down too.
Well, so Herd of Goats, we're gonna probably start it up again soon. So maybe that could be like that could be the first one we do for the season. Who knows? Why haven't we done it yet? I have no idea. It's just one of those things. We're a little disorganized, so we'll have something down, set in stone on paper, and then we'll get in, we'll start talking about it, and we'll change our minds. Okay. So who knows? It could have been there one day, and then we just said, nah, no porn stars today.
Okay. The best one was definitely the death one, like how you would die. I think was the one.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm sure we're probably gonna have to do something like that again. We'll get some good suggestions from some people because we run out of ideas pretty quick. We try to sit down and brainstorm a little bit, but it's hard to think of shit consistently over and over again. Something that people will enjoy too. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is the final question. The actual last question. So,
all right.
You are a fan of Barstool, I would assume, based on like the things you like on Twitter.
Yes.
Do you think that you could work there, or do you think that is too crazy to work there? Because I'd love to work there, but I think it would be like insane being on camera all the time like that. People hating you. I mean, people probably hate you now. People hate me. So, there's. It's like amplified.
I could 100% deal with like the hate. I think that those people are actually important for any type of brand because. Whether they know it or not, they're helping you. I mean, You're helping my algorithm, so I don't care. Whether you like me or not, that's up to you. Do I think I could work there? For sure. I would probably have to find my niche. I definitely love gambling, so I would probably fit into that aspect of it. I don't think they've ever really had a successful like fantasy space. I know they have like they have the podcast with Roan or whatever.
Yeah, Roan and Hank. I don't want to sound like a dick, but it's just not that good.
Well, exactly, and it's nothing against them. They do so many amazing things in other areas, but I think fantasy football is something that they struggle with.
It's such a big market. That's surprising that they don't have.
Exactly. It's very weird because it's also so close to gambling where like they completely own that space. Like gambling is like you want gambling content, you're going to Barstool because like you could just watch people sitting on their couch watching their TV gambling.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're literally
love that.
Casino. They have like their own casino.
Well, yeah, that's next. They're gonna make $1 billion next year.
Probably.
Barstool Sportsbook. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I mean, I'll work at the sportsbook if they want. I don't give a shit. I'll do anything. Yeah,
it's honestly crazy how big they got so fast. I started following them like 4 years ago, and like from then to now, it was amazing.
Yeah, and I think with something like Barstool, like if you get like hired full time there, that gives you that opportunity to really fully dive in and like really bring your full personality out. Like I'm a strange cat. Like I'm a weird dude, and I haven't even scratched the surface yet. Like I'm completely 100% myself and all the podcasts and all the videos that you see, but until this is something that's like full time and I don't have to worry about like another job, like seeing it and be like, oh, look at this guy. What the fuck is he doing there? Like whatever. Like once you can fully dive in and just not care about anything, that's when you can, the sky's the limit. So do I think I could? Yeah, I could definitely work there for sure. I think, that this is going to turn into something like that.
Yeah.
Big Dogs, I think, is the next Barstool in its own way.
Mm-hmm. I just think it would be hard to get in there because like the way that they like hire like an intern to work for like the summer and shit is like crazy. Like the Barstool Idol, like how do you even win that? Like how do you even stand out?
Oh, so that I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah,
like, I don't think I'd be able to walk in and be like, hey, listen, I could work here because of this, this, and this. Like it would have to be like I'm already doing something and they see something and like, hey, we could use this guy. But like
exactly.
The thing with them that's so cool is like they just take personalities and people and just make them grow, like put them on their platform. Like here's your audience. You now have the people to, you can show everyone what you do, and here's the people to show. And like you just go do your thing, and if people like it, they connect to it, and that's it.
Yeah. So you said that you think that Big Dogs could be like the next Barstool. Do you think that it will? How big do you think it could really get? Because I think it could definitely hit over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh sure. Yeah, for sure. I think
I wouldn't be
A
surprised if
hundred
this
thousand,
year
I
it hit
think,
it.
is probably the goal for the after this offseason. Like we're starting to get back into that time now where it's time to start growing again. Like you want to get new eyes to the channel. So you got to think, like, we've only been doing this, like Fade the Public, for just over a year, whereas Nick's been doing this for like 3 or 4 years now.
Mhm.
But it really just kind of took off this year. This was like his first real big year where, he's starting to bring on new people, providing new content, doing like 5 videos a week, whatever, all that stuff. So there's no reason to think he can't double his growth next season with
Yeah.
just, the content, the knowledge, all the things that, picked up along the way. And now, Nick's still a young dude, man.
Yeah.
Plenty of time to grow. For sure, we could be huge.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you don't produce as much content as Nick, but do you feel any burnout during the season at all, or no? Because I know Nick talks about it, and I personally felt that. I was making like probably 12 videos plus 2 streams a week, and it was like heavy on me.
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't say I haven't gotten to the burnout point yet because I definitely don't do as much as Nick, for sure.
Yeah.
I do a good amount. I produce Fade the Public, so I'm always constantly like writing the show sheets and stuff for us and trying to figure out what we're going to talk about. So there's times where like I'm certainly like stressed, like trying to figure out like what are we going to talk about today, and then like I'll submit it, and then like Snacks will have like 10 questions, and I'll try to explain something. And, like Nick wants to change something, and then it's like, oh shit, like I thought of this, and like now it's just like I'm like scrambled. So like there's times where it's overwhelming and I'm a little stressed, but I haven't gotten to that burnout point yet because I'm still so like excited about all of this. Everything's still so exciting and still like new to me. And I'm still like, I'm in it. I love it. I want to do this shit 24/7. I'm always texting the group chat that we're in, trying to like think of ideas, like new content, like a commercial we could make, like anything. I'm always on trying to do something.
Yeah, you guys made a commercial this season. I honestly don't remember what it was about, but it was so funny.
That was it's like stupid shit like that. That was the commercial to sell more sweatshirts, but it was like we modeled it after like a porn shoot.
Yeah.
Like I have like probably 5-6 more like commercials ready to go. Just like we have to get together and do it, and that's what I'm excited for this off season. Like that space, the headquarters, being together, making new content. I think there's just gonna be so much new stuff that we're gonna be able to put out, and we're actually gonna be able to do it. Like now it's all ideas, and like on this whiteboard behind me, like those are all just like ideas and stupid shit that I think of, I write down. So being able to put that into actual like a video, I'm so excited for that.
I think it's gonna be awesome seeing like you guys can get some like big hitter guests like in New York, like on the podcast, like other fantasy guys.
I think like that's something that I wouldn't say we're lacking, but like it's tough because we're a 3-man podcast. So like to bring in a 4th person, like even just as a guest every once in a while, 4 mics, it gets like messy. It's hard, like even with the 3 of us like talking over each other and screaming. As soon as you bring in a 4th, it makes it even harder. And then you got like who's asking what questions and whatnot. So every once in a while, I definitely think we should do it more. Like we had Evan Silva on that one time. We want to have him on again. So in the city, if we get people to actually come into the studio, that'd be really cool. I think it's something that we could definitely make work, and it would be, I think, something everybody would like.
Do you have any part to do with like the draft guide? Do you help with the rankings or anything, or no?
No, I had nothing to do with that at all. Actually, last year that was mainly all Nick, and I know he has like some other people help him, but no, that's all Nick. He busts his ass on that.
Do you think you could do that? Because I have to do that this year, and I think it's gonna be possible.
I am not. I'm like an idea person, so I could like think of all these ideas to do it, but I don't know if I'd actually sit down and put it down and do it. And I'm just being honest with myself. Like when push comes to shove, I'm probably not going to sit down and write down all that shit. It's just not me.
Yeah.
I'm more of like I'd rather just sit here and talk and make a video.
Yeah. So
I
am
don't
I,
want to do
honestly.
that.
That's why you're on YouTube.
Exactly. So I probably wouldn't be able to do it. No, it's too much. It's too wordy for me. It's constant research and typing and blah, blah, all that shit. And it's something that I personally, like, I think it's awesome and I use it, but like, I never really bought draft guides or used them before this. So something I never really was even interested in until Nick showed me it.
Yeah, I used to buy the fantasy footballers one, but honestly, I think the dynasty one for him might be even harder. That's a whole different game. Dynasty.
Yeah, dynasty's tough, man, because especially when you're talking about like rookies and stuff like that, you're trying to predict off of shit that you have no idea what they're going to do yet. And you have no idea how these coaches are going to use them in their system. Like we were all excited about AJ Brown until he went to the Titans. And then look what he did with the Titans. I mean, granted, they changed quarterbacks, but we thought once he went there, like there's no chance he's going to be good. He's never going to get the ball. And he got the ball more than we ever thought. So nobody knows.
Mm-hmm. What's your opinion on Mitch Trubisky? Because if I'm being honest with you, I think that guy's like a fucking bum. I actually thought he was really good a few years ago, or like not this year, but like the year before when they made the playoffs. I thought he was actually good.
He had a game where he threw 6 touchdowns. So like I was like, all right, you throw 6 touchdown passes in the NFL, you could be pretty good.
Yeah.
But no, he's not. He's not good. You can just tell it's like he just overthrows everything. The throws are completely inaccurate. And the first year, I think Matt Nagy's system, being a new system, really helped disguise his inept ability to play quarterback because he's not good. And you can even see like how many balls does he throw that should be intercepted and the cornerback or the safety or the linebacker drop it. Like he should have twice the amount of picks he probably has, but he doesn't have them. He got lucky. So like numbers might not show it, even though they kind of probably do show it, but no, he's not good. Okay. I'm not a Trubisky believer.
Do you have any guys like in the league or for fantasy purposes that you just have a vendetta about? You will never draft him. You just think, fuck that guy. He fucked me once. Never again.
No, I'm pretty forgiving. I just try to stay away from like players that I already know are hurt. Like I definitely don't like Doug. He's not in the league anymore, but Doug Baldwin. I drafted him last year. I don't know why. I knew he was hurt. I went against everything I believed in. Like I don't draft guys who are banged up, and I drafted him. And I think he got me 7 points for the whole year. Like I started him one game, and then I had to cut him. And it was just a disaster. So fuck Doug Baldwin. Fuck injured players going into fantasy football.
Yeah, you can't be drafting. AJ Green especially. So many people. Oh, the 7th round discount is so good. This, that, and the other thing.
I wouldn't have taken him in the 14th round, please. I didn't want him at all.
It's like Todd Gurley. Fuck that guy too.
He's all right.
Yeah, I mean, this year I like him, but last year
I was all over him in the beginning of the year. He wasn't quite what I wanted him to be, but I don't think it was a complete letdown either.
We were talking about earlier, like the comments where people get mad at you or like hate comments. Do you ever do you read all of them or do you just say fuck it?
Oh yeah, no, I'm big reading on comments for sure. I like to read the comments because I love and appreciate the ones that are always people will say something nice or they'll just crack a joke and play along. I love that. Appreciate the support always. But the people like the haters, whatever, I don't have a problem with that either. I'll comment to those people too. People say something on Twitter, I'll retweet it. I don't give a shit. You're interacting with me, so whether you like what I said or you don't like what I said, I still got to you.
Yeah.
I reached you somehow. So it doesn't bother me, haters, whatever. It's fine. Yeah. And I read the comments. They don't bother me though. They're words, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not soft like that. I'm gonna let some asshole I've never seen before say something to upset me. The guy doesn't even know me. Who cares?
Exactly. It doesn't bother me either. I just think it's funny when you get like someone in the comments and they say something stupid and then you respond to them and then they keep going. And now you've commented more times on my video, so now my video is gonna get watched by more people. So thank
you. That's the one thing I usually try to not do is I try to not comment on them because I know they're just trying to get something. They're trying to get something out of me, and I'm not gonna give that to them. But I'll like it. I'll retweet it. Or whatever.
Yeah, like but someone. Someone left a comment on my video like, "Oh, does this 12-year-old ever shut up?" And I was just like, "I'm 13, buddy. Calm down."
Yeah, exactly. I'll joke back.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's not worth it because that's what they want. They want to get something out of you. Like I don't think I've ever, even if I didn't like it, disliked a video on YouTube. It's just not who I am. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, this video sucked." Dislike. Who cares? I'm just gonna move on. I'm not gonna like it, but I'll move on. People like that. They're craving that attention. They want something from you. So just don't give it to them.
Okay. Now, who's your best pick next year? Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Obviously, it just ended. The season just ended. The team's going to look completely different that you pick right now than in December or January when the playoffs are being played. So who do you think right now will win next year? Because I think, if I'm being honest with you, I don't think the 49ers will be back. I don't think they'll make it there. I think it might be, if Drew Brees is back, you think it might be the Saints for that side. And I think the Chiefs might be back. I know, but I would
Sean Payton.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if it was Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in there again and they win. That would never surprise. That never surprised.
I mean, if Tom Brady goes back to the Patriots, for sure I always give them a shot. But I'd like to see I stick with like the teams that have the same quarterbacks that are good year in year out, like a Russell Wilson, like the Seahawks.
Yeah,
I
I
hate
picked
them.
them this year. I thought they'd make it.
I absolutely hate the Seahawks, but Russell Wilson is an amazing quarterback, and they're a solid team. Pete Carroll is a great coach, so I could see them. They were almost there this year, so I would go with the Seahawks probably. I think they're my sleeper for next year to win it.
All right. Do you think that the Browns are ever going to turn it around, or they're just going to be a garbage organization our whole life?
Nope, they're gonna be garbage their whole life. They just keep going through these like short, like 2-3 year bursts of like we're almost good to let's change everything up again and suck. Like they just keep hiring new people and sucking every year. They don't. I said they should honestly have they should do a contest. Like just let a fan be the GM for a year. Fuck it, who cares?
Exactly.
Maybe this random guy has the secret sauce that we needed, and the only way we just have a giveaway contest. That's it. Because
exactly.
at this point, they're throwing darts at that's it. That's all they've been doing since past 5 years, 10 years, 15
it makes no
years.
sense.
They suck.
My whole life they've been terrible. I'm 20 years old. They're garbage.
Yep, they haven't been good since the Broncos destroyed them in the playoffs. So
it's to me, it's like it's just like the Lions as well. Like Matt Stafford's a good quarterback, but their GM, whoever it is that's managing this team, is just awful.
It's just like they're one of those franchises. They just kind of have that negative energy like surrounding them throughout their history. Like it just doesn't go away, and I don't see anything changing that's going to make it go away.
Yeah, they're always going to be okay because Matt Stafford's just too good to be shit. But but
he's going to be gone soon. So
his back has given up already.
Yep. So we'll see. I mean, it takes that new quarterback to come in and light everything up. That's it. Like look at the Chiefs. They were always kind of like in that middle road. They were never really like that really good team. They were like good a couple of years, and then they were like shit, and they were good, and then they had Alex Smith, and then they were all right. And then Pat Mahomes come in and boom, Super Bowl.
Do you think that the Cowboys will ever be a team that is like a real Super Bowl contender in the next couple of years? Do you think that like Dak Prescott is that guy? I think Dak Prescott is much better than people give him the credit for.
Yeah, no, I do too. I think the people that say like Dak Prescott sucks or is overrated, they're the people that they're casual football fans. They watch football. They don't watch all the games. They don't know. Dak Prescott's a solid quarterback. Do I think the Cowboys as a whole team? Probably not anymore. I think Jerry Jones is kind of past his time here. He's done some amazing things with them in the past. I just don't think it's going to happen anymore. I think that – and I'm also not a Mike McCarthy believer. I think that when you have Aaron Rodgers for however many years you have him 10 years or whatever.
It's an embarrassment. You only win one Super Bowl. An embarrassment.
Yeah. So they only went to one.
Yeah.
So you should have went to others. I'm not a Mike McCarthy believer, so no, I don't really believe in the Cowboys.
Okay. I'm also out on – we were talking about McCarthy, but I'm also out on LaFleur. I really don't think he's a good coach.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. I think they got lucky a lot this season just with the fact that he was a new coach and new scheme and everything, and it masks all those – you don't have tape on them. So these guys – it's a little harder to defend. And the fact that their run game is outstanding and that, if you have a good run game, it's pretty easy to win games in the NFL.
They have a good roster too. It's just so weird. Like Rodgers just doesn't look like himself anymore. Like he has in the past couple of years.
I'm off Rodgers. I think he's I'm not gonna say washed up, obviously, because he's not. He's still a great quarterback. It's just he doesn't wow me anymore. Like I watch him play and I'm just like, he's really good, but where's like the Aaron Rodgers that like I was watching every week, like just a season ago, that like was doing shit that you couldn't believe, making these crazy throws. And then all of a sudden now he just looks like, I don't know, he looks like an old quarterback. It's weird.
Do you think there'll ever be a worse fallout than the Rams? I feel like the Rams they were so on top. They looked so good. McVay, all this, all that. Goff looks good. And then they just completely were flustered this year. Do you think that's like a pretty big fall to me? Besides the Falcons were a great fall as well.
I mean, anytime you go to a Super Bowl, you always have that like the Super Bowl hangover. It's hard to bounce back. Their biggest problem was first of all, their star running back, his complete way of playing the game had to change because they can't give him the same amount of carries anymore. And their O-line, man, that whole team was about that O-line opening up humongous holes for Todd Gurley. And they lost Roger Saffold. Is that who they lost?
I think so.
And
I'm terrible with names.
Someone else, they lost two guards. Like they were opening holes all year. So you saw at the end of the year, they got that groove back a little bit
Yeah.
again. Like Todd Gurley was getting the ball running a little bit more. I think you'll see them bounce back next season. Super Bowl hangover, man. It's a real thing.
Mhm.
It's a real thing.
Are you part of the crowd that believes that you just should not pay a running back? Because I see this on Twitter now. Damian Williams plays so great. He's worth $2 million, let's say. I think he is maybe. But like some people are part of the crowd where they think you don't need an elite running back to win. And I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'm kind of indifferent to it.
I'm all about the line. If I was the NFL GM, I would draft nothing but offensive linemen and defensive linemen in the first 2 rounds of every single draft. I wouldn't even think about drafting a running back until the 3rd or 4th round, because I'm a firm believer that if you have a great O-line that opens holes, just about any one of these running backs that are in the NFL, guys that are in the NFL, made to the NFL, can run through those holes and be very productive.
Yeah,
I think Shanahan has proven that. Just he takes the guy like Raheem Mostert, who was 6th round, he was undrafted.
Yeah.
I mean, his father did the same shit. Terrell Davis had a 2,000-yard season, and then the next year, Mike Anderson, some nobody, goes for 1,600 yards.
Yeah.
It's all about scheme.
All you need is a line and fucking T.J. Yeldon.
That's it. Dude, T.J. Yeldon could have been 2,000-yard rusher.
Exactly.
Right O-line.
Exactly. Do you think that, obviously this is talking more about fantasy, but do you think Christian McCaffrey will be like the greatest fantasy football player ever? Because I think he has potential to be like one of the best, because obviously there's injury concern when you get a guy that gets the ball so often on every play. His team is fucking terrible. Their team, they also had a pretty great fall. They proved that there's like
I thought they were going to be like a very top team this year. I thought they were going to be like a 12-4 team or something.
Yeah, they proved about that, like that window thing where people talk about you have a window to win, and if you fall out of that, it's out. And Kuechly retired, shit like that. But it's like,
now they got now they're rebuilding. So we'll see what happens there. But the Broncos, that's another team that the Broncos destroyed. Sorry, Panthers fans.
Cam wouldn't jump on the ball. You know?
Yeah. Oh, oof. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do if I was a Panthers fan. I had to watch that. But what were we even talking about again?
I don't even fucking remember, to be honest with you. I said I think Christian McCaffrey could be the greatest ever.
I mean, certainly has the potential. Do I think he'll be able to do it? No, I don't think any NFL players anymore are going to be able to sustain the longevity we saw from guys like an LT or like Emmitt Smith and guys like that. You can't compete. Like, I think LaDainian Tomlinson is probably the best fantasy player of all time. I don't know how anyone's going to top 21 rushing touchdowns or whatever it was that year. 28. What do you have? He had some fucking insane number.
Something crazy, yeah.
He was 21 or 28 touchdowns. It was nuts. No one will top that. I think LT will be the best fantasy player of all time. Non-quarterback.
Okay.
His quarterbacks are another.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Do you think anyone could pass that? I think Manning, when he was on the Broncos, is the best quarterback ever for fantasy. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I've had like this debate because I remember I thought that it was too, and then
He's not.
Mahomes broke it last year.
He threw 52 touchdowns, didn't he? Manning?
55.
55, even better.
55, yeah. But Mahomes threw 50.
No, and he runs.
So, and he had I think he had more yards or whatever.
Okay.
So, yeah, but no, Peyton Manning up until that point, that was the best fantasy performance of all time.
Yeah. Do you believe in these guys like Lamar Jackson, these running quarterbacks? Do you think that is the real future of the NFL? Do you think that eventually we'll see? Okay, because I think
saying that shit since Mike Vick, man.
Okay.
It's been how long have they been saying the running quarterback's going to change the game? Like they come in, they do awesome for a couple of years,
they get hurt.
That's it. Like here's like something I was talking about the other day with Snacks. We were talking about how John Harbaugh won Coach of the Year for what he did with Lamar Jackson.
Doesn't deserve it.
Mike Shanahan did the same shit with RG3, but RG3 got hurt. If RG3 doesn't get hurt and continues his season the way he was going, I know there's the ifs, and snaps, if my uncle, blah, blah, I don't care. Listen, like running quarterbacks, it's the same thing every time. Sometimes they get hurt. If they don't, they run for a lot of yards and they do very well. Yeah. That's it. I mean, it's not sustainable. It hasn't been. It never has been.
Yeah, you see a guy's career get cut short like fucking Andrew Luck. Do you think he'll ever grace the NFL again? I don't think so.
I think he's done too. I think he's another one. And when that first happened, I got some shit for it. You know, people were upset that I said like, you know, he was soft or whatever.
He is. He was soft. Fuck him at that point. It's so.
I mean, I think all I said was he's just not a champion. Like he doesn't have the heart of a champion.
I agree.
Like that's it. Like he's maybe he's not soft, but he doesn't have the heart of a champion because I don't care how hurt you are. If you're the hard champion, you want to get out in the field and play and win, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many guys are out there with fucking their bodies falling apart?
Yeah.
They don't care. Like Ronnie Lott cuts his finger off to go back on the field because he fucking has the heart of a champion.
Exactly.
Doesn't have the heart of a champion.
That's like the shit you see in. I know you're probably not a hockey fan, but like the Stanley Cup, they'll show after. Oh, this guy, he's been playing. He has 2 of his ribs are broken. His lung has collapsed, and
Who
he's
had a broken jaw last year? They just
the fucking Boston guy. I hate the guy, Brad Marchand. Chara.
Someone they broke his jaw, and he's playing the next game.
Yeah, it's unreal.
It's crazy. Heart of a champion.
Exactly. And then Andrew Luck just gives up. Now, people are talking about how his dad is like the XFL guy. There's no fucking shot he goes the XFL over playing in the NFL. No
Why
way.
would you take a $25 million pay cut or whatever?
Exactly.
That's what he would be doing, even though he got paid, which I thought was stupid for the Colts. So
yeah.
Whatever. A whole nother story.
Yeah. He also just left them for dead. Like, it seemed like they could be a good team with him, T.Y., Marlon Mack, all these guys, these assets on defense.
Very odd timing for him to, like, all of a sudden, like, I get it. He was, like, finally – like feeling good enough where he could like walk away and like have a normal life and not be like hurt and rehabbing. But like this was the best team you ever had.
Yeah.
And you just walked away.
Yeah. I feel like Brissett might have been the guy that like bamboozled me the most I've ever seen. He looked good when they beat the Chiefs. If you remember, it looked like they were going to be, even maybe Brissett wasn't the reason they were running the ball, but he just looked so good.
He faded real fast. He was at that point where like people were starting to believe like, oh, all right, we got ourselves a quarterback here. And then I think we're going to see something happen this offseason. There's going to be some interesting stuff with the Colts because that team is very good all around them. It's
very good defense.
Holding them back.
Yeah.
And the offensive line that's my favorite offensive line in the league. They're fucking awesome. I love Quentin Nelson.
That makes sense. There's a lot of teams that I feel like are like just one guy away from being very good. I wonder what they do with Nick Foles in Jacksonville. That's something I wonder because they paid so much money for him, and Minshew looks like he could do the same thing.
You gotta. I don't know the ins and outs of the contract. I'm sure there's like some dead money issues or whatever.
Yeah, there always is.
But as soon as you can get rid of Foles for like not destroying your cap, like he's got to go. He's gone. Like you're not gonna. He's not the franchise quarterback there anymore.
Yeah, Foles to me is a very confusing guy to try to figure out as well. Like you see
he's only
him
good in Philly.
Exactly, but like you see him. He was in Philly, throws however many touchdowns that was in a row, and then he goes to where was it? The Chiefs, or he went somewhere, the Rams or something, and he was shit.
Yeah, he was the backup.
It was crazy.
Rams, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was actually on the Chiefs too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's a Philly guy, I guess. I don't know.
It's just so weird. Do you have any fan bases that you like you hate? Like to me, I hate the Patriots. I hate all Patriots fans.
I hate the Raiders.
You don't like the Raiders? That makes sense.
I hate the Raiders.
Okay.
They're all their fans are scumbags, silver and black. Like and Snacks always I fucking hate. I just hate everything about them. Like glad they're going to Vegas. Whatever, have fun. Who cares? Hope your whole franchise crumbles.
I don't understand that move at all though. Like them going to Vegas. Like for that, like they have such a die-hard fan base to move.
Yeah, no, it makes no sense. I think it's sad too because I don't really feel bad for them, but like they were in LA, then they go to Oakland, now they're going to Vegas. Like fucking these poor fans, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only part I feel from I'm a football fan, so like if my team kept moving all over the place, I'd be a little annoyed.
Yeah, it's like I feel for like the Rams fans too because they had such loyal fans. I feel like in St. Louis, and then you just ship them
that's
on.
Crazy. Poor St. Louis, man. They got robbed. They just ripped their team away from them for no reason too. When there was already another team going to LA, like why?
Yeah, I mean their stadium is going to be amazing, but like who gives?
Oh yeah, it looks beautiful. Beautiful, but I mean, who cares?
It's like it's the same thing with the Raiders. Like, sure, the stadium is going to look awesome in Las Vegas, but how many fans are willing to pay the price to go? Well, I guess it's not that. It might not be as far. It's not as far.
The thing with Vegas is they'll have at least like the like a tourist attraction for it. Like people will be like, oh, we're in Vegas. Let's go see a game.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of people at the game, I believe, but I just don't think there's going to be all that many like fans. Well, I guess the Vegas hockey team, they fucking sell out every game. They have a huge fan base, but
that's also because they started off good.
Yeah. The Raiders.
If they started off like they didn't win any games, they were a shitty fucking hockey team, I'm sure it would have been a lot harder for them to sell tickets.
Exactly. Do you think Tom Brady is going to find his way there? To Las
Vegas? I mean, that's where the rumors are pointing. So mean, they know more than I do, so I'd lean with yes.
Mhm.
And it's a problem with like I just don't see Tom Brady wearing another uniform. But like the guy loves football so much, I don't think he's ready to walk away. So
Uh-huh.
if that's what it comes down to, I honestly think he'll end up in the Chargers or in Vegas, which sucks because it's both my division.
Yeah, that's
It looks
crazy.
like I like have this feeling that Tom Brady is going to be in the AFC West.
Yeah, but to me, Tom Brady just isn't Tom Brady anymore. But the thing I think him and Bill Belichick need each other to win.
Exactly. So like Tom Brady on his own doesn't really scare me because I mean he's fucking 43 years old. Like
Hmm.
I get it. It's the name. It carries like that legacy with it and everything. But like it just doesn't. It's not the same anymore. It doesn't hit as hard.
Yeah, I honestly thought it'd be funny if he went. I'm a Dolphins fan. I think it'd be funny if he went to the Dolphins or like the Jets and just fuck it, beats Bill Belichick. Funny. That's
It'd
like
be
so
wild
funny.
if he did that. I mean, the only thing that's cool about the Miami is at least he's got the connection with Flores
Yeah.
from the past. But I mean, that'd be insane, man. That'd be like Eli Manning saying, "I'm going to go play for like the Eagles." Like
Yeah,
that.
I always thought it'd be funny if Eli went to the Chargers or something. That'd be
That'd
so
be
cool.
cool. It'd be a little ironic. It'd be
Yeah.
fun. I don't think.
He retired though, so no more.
Yeah, that's it. Not
Yeah.
gonna happen.
There's a lot of teams that like that like move. I feel bad every single time a franchise really makes the move, like you said. Like it just feels so bad for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, these people, especially if you get someone like Snacks who is a straight up diehard fan, like goes to like pretty much all the home games,
Hmm.
and is like it's basically a religion to them. Like you're ripping that away from these people, and
Yeah.
what for what? These people have been loyal to you for so long, and you pull it away for what? For some more money?
Hmm.
I get it, but it's sad.
Do you have any like stories from a game you've ever been to? Snacks told me a pretty good story. I don't really have that many good stories from games I've been
I
to.
probably not because I really haven't been to a lot of games
Uh-huh.
because I'm a Broncos fan and
Yeah.
I live in Jersey, so I never had desire to go to the Giants or Jets games. I'll go with like some friends if like people get a good amount of people to go. We want to tailgate or something like that, but
Hmm.
I probably don't have it. I don't really have any good stories from games. I've really only been to a handful, maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, me too. I was just wondering.
Yeah,
I go to a lot of Devils games, but that's because that's the only team in New Jersey. So
I've heard hockey games are a lot of fun. I haven't been to a hockey game yet
they
either.
they
It's
are.
one of those sports I never really got into.
Hmm.
I
You,
like
you
it.
you should go with Snacks. I think he's a Rangers fan. You should
Yeah,
go.
he's a Rangers fan. I like the
'Cause-
Devils. I root for him a little bit, but I don't really watch.
Okay, because if you go, it's like it's just completely different to watching it on TV. Like if you get like good seats, it's like crazy how fast everyone moves and
Well,
shit.
yeah, so everyone always says like once you're there, it's totally different. It's not the same. So like my big thing is I want to start going to as miserable as this sounds, I want to start going to some Knicks games.
Okay.
Just for the atmosphere. I like the Garden. So
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a Knicks fan and basketball is something I've actually been getting more and more into. So
Hmm.
go to a couple games here and there. Maybe if we eventually get a superstar, it'll be fun. But that's another day.
Yeah. So basketball is the only other sport you like besides football.
For like professionally,
Yeah.
yeah, probably. 'Cause they're both they're fun to watch and I can gamble on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the big thing for me, and like I actually
Yeah.
feel like I understand both sports enough to gamble on them.
Mhm.
Baseball too slow for me, a little boring.
Yeah. What was that feeling like a few days ago when it seemed like you were to hit that huge ass parlay and you missed? What does that feel like?
I never thought I was gonna hit that one, but
Really?
the I mean it's exhilarating. Just
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sound like a degenerate, but gambling is it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's so fun because when you have a chance to win it's a high. I mean, that's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's another way to get high. It's watching the game. Just the other day, I was watching. I believe it was the Pelicans, and I had the under in the game,
Yeah.
and the Pelicans were up by like 10,
Mm-hmm.
and there was like 24 seconds. The shot clock just started. Zion gets the ball, and he fucking goes and slams it and dunks it with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. I'm screaming at my TV because I have the under. They're up
Uh-huh.
by 10. He's not letting the clock run down. He's just slamming the ball in and he's going to fuck my parlay up. This was
Uh-huh.
like a $10 parlay to win like 350.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just screaming at my TV for the last 2 minutes of the game. And like my heart's pounding. I'm sweating. I'm in it. I'm like, I'm ready. And I won on the hook. It was like 231 and a half. And there was 231 points in the game. I won.
Mm-hmm.
But like those last 2 minutes were better than anything I've done all week. It was the most fun I've had all week was just those last 2 minutes watching that game. Like I'm in it.
Yeah, you're not a true degenerate until you start watching like some Chinese soccer at 3 in the
Yeah.
morning.
No, see, I won't do that. And I don't chase. Like,
Mhm.
I make my bets and that's it.
Yeah,
It's all about just being responsible. It's it. Know what you can lose and have fun with it
yeah,
I mean, that's why you're doing it. I'm trying to I don't give a fuck about the Pelicans game,
yeah,
but now that I got money on it, it's fun to watch. It's
yeah,
exciting.
exactly.
It's good stuff.
I'm not 21 yet. I'll be 21 in May, but I make all these picks and like I can't bet any money on them. How?
Mhm.
I don't have like a bookie or something, so I just I say the
Don't.
things and then people like take my picks, you win money, and then I say something outlandish, you take it, you lose. I mean, I said to bet your whole house, and I was 2-on-2 on the bet your house game, so you
Bet
should
your
still
house.
have your house realistically off of that.
Yeah, no, I love gambling. I do. I
I
really
think
do.
everyone does once they start.
Yeah, it's definitely addicting. You certainly have to be careful because if you are like a person who has a very addictive personality, it's very easy to just especially on these, you can play blackjack on your phone. I mean, you can sit there and I
Mhm.
could play roulette. You could do whatever you
Yeah,
want. So, and I've done it,
yeah,
but it's all about just knowing when to stop. I mean, you're gonna be 21 soon. You'll learn.
yeah. That's because
Make
we
sure you
live.
have set your gambling aside. Like, listen, this is I got whatever $100 for the week, and that's it. Boom,
Mhm.
whatever it is.
Yeah. I think that gambling is really going to take over the U.S. in the next couple of years. Like, I'm surprised it's only like New Jersey and a few other places.
Oh, it's going to be one of the biggest things like in the country. I think
Uh-huh.
that I mean just for advertising and everything like that. It's so big. It's got so many eyes on it, and sports has already been such a huge part of like American culture and just around the world. So if you can gamble on it and make something that people already find interesting and fun a little bit better,
Hmm.
it's a slam dunk, man.
Yeah, like every time I'm in the car, you hear like this isn't necessarily gambling, but you hear like DraftKings, DFS, like on the radio every single fucking
Oh
day.
yeah, every commercial I see like the infomercials in the mornings, and like that's why we made Bagels and Locks. Like we know that this is a space that's going to keep growing and growing and growing. Like we just did the first season. We average like 1,000 viewers every episode. It's pretty
Mhm.
good for the first time starting a show, and that's what it's all about, just building that, like getting a small little following. And now like people who are getting more and more into gambling every year, like half of those people probably don't even gamble.
Yeah,
They were just watching the show because it was entertaining, and like maybe they do want to gamble one day. Maybe they want to see like, all right, what is gambling really like? Like this guy's fucking, probably didn't win any money. If you look at our records, well,
yeah,
I was up like 2 games, so I won probably nothing with the juice. Like if you
yeah.
gambled all those games, so like learning lessons. That's
Hmm.
probably the biggest thing you get from gambling and losing
Yeah,
money.
definitely. I learned a lot from watching all the Barstool electric chairs and shit. It's just so funny
Mm-hmm.
how mad people get, but it makes a lot of sense. I'd get pissed off too.
Yeah, I mean, even just stuff like that, that's content right there. Like, how many people sit around watching other people gamble? Like, I
Mhm.
don't have any money on the game. I'm watching, like, Mush. I'm watching Marty Mush and see, like, what did he bet on today? And, like, let's see his reaction now. Like, oh, shit, he lost all his money. That's hysterical.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
content.
It's so funny how on Twitter you see all these guys like, "Oh, I'm up 6 units," but they never tell you what fucking
Yeah, they
unit
don't know
means.
what
Or
they don't
is
know what
your
their
unit
units are.
$10?
Yeah.
Because if I'm up fucking $50, that's not exciting to me.
Yeah, is your unit $1? Are you up $6? Who cares, buddy?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's
It's
stupid. Yeah. The same thing you see those with those handicappers. They'll do that. Like, this is a 20 unit smash hammer play.
yeah.
Dude, 20 units could mean a lot for different people.
Is your guys' show based off of Sports Advisors at all or no? Or do you
What,
watch
Bagels and
that?
Locks?
Yeah.
Probably in a way it is, just because it's a like a handicap, a sports show where
Mhm.
we're giving picks, because like there's
Yeah.
really no one else that does it in that like entertainment format,
Hmm.
but not like
Yeah, obviously it's not like a
not
ripoff
big.
or something.
Yeah, it's definitely
Did that like inspire you? Was kind of more my question.
probably, yeah, I'd say so, because it's something that I've always been interested in. I've always been like gambling, like five dimes all the way back to those days.
Hmm.
But once we got the platform, it was something that I knew I wanted to do, and
Yeah.
Barstool was already doing it. So, yeah, I guess it inspired us for sure to do
Hmm.
it, because it's definitely a space I want to be involved in too. Like,
Yeah.
I love the fantasy space, but the gambling space is something that I'm also very interested in.
Yeah. The gambling space is so different too. Like
Yeah,
so many different kind of guys there.
yeah, oh yeah. It's I mean, there's so many different, like, I'm a big prop guy. Like, I love the props. Like,
Hmm.
some people don't do that. So like that's something that I kind of want to focus on a little bit too. And it's something that like I do like Animal Instincts on my Twitter. I'll send like a couple of prop bets for like a game, which I'm actually going to start doing more for basketball now that the season for now that football's over. I can focus on basketball a little bit, so I'll be doing those, and that's fun. I mean, I love the props. It's exciting. It's different.
The props are definitely exciting. I was listening to like Pat Mayo
Pat
talking.
Mayo,
He was talking about how like 8 out of 9 weeks the fucking over of Pat Mahomes running 20 yards hit.
Yeah.
It's like, how is it only 20 yards his rushing? It like doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah, well, props are something where if you have the time, you can sit there and like scour through all of them. You can find the value. Like I was just telling someone like a couple of weeks ago, like when Pat Beverly was hurt, he didn't play like a whole bunch of games. He came back, and before he was hurt, he was averaging like 7 assists a game. But his line was like 3.5 and 4.5 every night. I just hammered it for like 6 nights. And that was it. Like, and now it's, if you go look, it's like 5.5, 6.5. It keeps moving up, but like you got to find those edges. They're always there. There's always a line in the props that you can find.
Are you any bit interested in like DFS at all or no?
No, it's too what's the I don't want to say like rigged, but like it's too easy for people to take advantage of it.
Yeah, no, I don't play DraftKings or any of that because there's like the guys with like 150 lineups. Like, how?
Yeah, I'm not competing like that. I'm a single bulk guy. I'll have my one lineup and that's it. Like I can't sit there. I'm not going to set 150 lineups. I don't do that shit. Like I get it. These people, they found a way around it. They found a loophole, and they have a strategy, and it works because, I mean, you see it. The guys, but you have to bet like 10 grand.
Yeah, and you win $1 million.
Yeah, it's worth it if you pull it off. But how many people enter, 100 lineups and don't win?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You don't see those screenshots. You just see the ones of the guys that had 150 lineups and they won, 25 grand.
Yeah, this is not an ad or anything, but my like sponsor is like a daily fantasy thing, but it's nothing like that shit. It's like you just pick which guy's going to score more fantasy points. That I can actually figure out. Like I won
like a head-to-head kind of thing.
Yeah, on that. Yeah. Like that's something. It's probably similar to the company that sponsors Nick. Probably. Okay. Maybe a little bit different, but
like Monkey Knife Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much done here. I think we're close to 2 hours though. I think we should just keep talking.
Is it really? Maybe. Holy shit.
We've been here for a while. It's 10 o'clock. I think we started like 8:10. I think we should just keep going for it to be like 2 hours.
Let's just go all night.
Yeah, we could just talk about some random shit.
Yeah, I got a couple more minutes in me.
Okay. You got anything to talk about? Maybe you can figure out something to talk about. I don't know.
No, I really, to be honest with you, I don't. The only thing I would say is like I'm trying to figure out ways to get like more interaction with like my Twitter, because I love going on Twitter. I never used Twitter until like I got involved with Big Dogs.
Yeah.
And like now it's all I'm on Twitter all the time. I love like interacting with people, and I want to try and get like that's why I started doing like that freak athlete thing. I post every Friday. I'll post like a video from like a movie with a guy or someone doing something, and like I'll write a little story. Like I want to try and do like more stuff like that to just get like some involvement and provide some type of entertainment for some people, because I'm not going to be dropping like fantasy stats all the time like other people, because that's just not who I am.
Me neither.
So like I'm trying to think of like more things like that, or like should I change that to like I was going to do something else where like should I do it the same thing I'm doing now, but instead of like a story, I'll do it like athlete or freak athlete, and like that way now people can like maybe comment on it like like this is definitely an athlete, or like no, this is a freak athlete moment, like just like little things like that. I'm trying to tweak and fix and learn along the way, just like what things work, what can I do to be a little more entertaining, to get people to interact with me on my channel, because I want to interact with people. I like talking to people.
Exactly. I got 3,000 YouTube subscribers and I have 100 followers on Twitter. I don't know how to promote it or anything.
It's tough, man. It's really hard because like, especially in this era, like I've got some crazy thoughts and I want to tweet everything, but I also want to like not offend people. Yeah. Even though like I also kind of don't really give a shit. Like if you're offended by something I said, like you're probably a pussy anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
So like, I don't care, but like I don't want to be like a dick. So I don't want to come off as a dick, because I'm a nice guy who, I just want to like chill and hang out and be friends with everybody. So like I want to be like that on Twitter. I want to be friends with everybody on Twitter. I don't want to go and like comment on people's stuff and start problems or like, oh, like, this is cool, but like I completely disagree with you because I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just want to have like a fun time. That's it. for everything.
Yeah. How many DMs do you get on Twitter? Because I know you didn't answer my DM, but like I get so many too.
During the season, it's a good amount, and it's just like a lot of start sits.
Yeah, that's all mine are too. And I started answering, and now I stop answering people. And I feel like a
Exactly.
dick.
Yep, that's the same thing. I mean, and when I first got them, I was excited. I was like, "Damn, these people want to talk to me. This is cool." And like after a while, it's like the same shit over and over again. And then you get like the people, that will ask you like they'll lure you in with something, and you answer one, and they'll be like, "Oh, but what about this and this and this and this and this?" And it's like, "Hey, listen, I answered you one question. I want to answer all of them, but like I got other shit to do, and like I don't want to be a dick and be like, hey, bro, I can't." Like so, like you just stop answering them all because. You can't. You get too many, and now I have just a graveyard of DMs.
Yeah, it's like on my like videos too. I post like rankings every week, and someone will ask, "Who do I start? This wide receiver, this wide receiver?" Like, motherfucker, watch the video. It literally tells you.
That too.
But it's like I answer them too because I don't want to be like a dick. Like I'm like, okay, this is their answer. But it's like if you just look through the video, you can clearly tell this guy's ranked number 7. This guy's 12. I mean, I still love you if you watch the video though. So
that's kind of like the way people want their information though. Everyone just wants it like boom, boom, boom. Like how many like going back to Barstool, they'll post like they'll film an hour-long video, but then they'll chop it up into like 10-minute clips or 25-minute clips or whatever, and put all those clips on social because that's how everyone's going to really see it. Like they're going to watch it through their Twitter feeds, not like go to YouTube and watch the actual channel. So like that's the big thing is like trying to figure out what works, what to post, what's too much, what's not enough, because like we're trying to figure all that out for Big Dogs. Like lately we've been posting more on the Instagram, like trying to get some memes out there, trying to get some more stuff in the story feed.
Yeah, the memes are good on there.
Yeah, we're trying. That's Georgie Memes, behind the scenes guy doing his thing.
Yeah, I try to like I was originally like I thought I could post all these like videos on Twitter from my videos, but then I'm like it's just me. I don't have any fucking time. I'm making 12 videos a week and I go to college. Like what time do I have to cut a 30-minute long clip?
To do it consistently is hard. And even like now, like I have time to do it and I still struggle trying to like because you want to make sure it's good when you put it up. So like I have it done, it's ready, but like did I triple check it? Did I do this? And then like you start, freaking yourself out, like, is this worthy of posting or did I not post enough? Or like, did I post too much? It's just, it's a fucking mess. That's why you got to have a team together. And then when you have people that do their own things, everyone just doing their job. That's kind of where we're heading right now.
Yeah. Nice. I signed up for you guys to be like the video editor or something for like Instagram. And I realized, thank God I didn't get that because there's no way I would have been able to do it. Like I edited like the one video and I thought it was good. I mean, I didn't get in, but I was like, now I'm like, thank God I would never have been able to do it. I would have felt like a dick being like, Nick, I can't do this. I'm sorry.
Oh, that'd be bad. Yeah, you don't want to do that. It's tough, man. It's easier said than done. Like we said when we started this, we don't want to miss a week, and we haven't yet. Like putting out an episode of Fade the Public. And there's been some weeks where like there were some times where we thought like maybe we wouldn't get it done this week because someone had something come up or there's always something. But like it's really just if you want to do this shit, just consistency, man. Just don't stop. Like
exactly.
No matter what it is, like you might have a shitty guest or something, whatever, just go through it and do it. Like I could have been a shitty guest this whole time, but you plugged through it.
No, we wouldn't be here for 2 fucking hours if you were not gonna if you weren't like fun to talk to or something.
So like it's just man, just keep going. I like what you're doing, man. So don't stop.
Yeah, you too.
Don't get discouraged.
Yeah, I think it's funny how a lot of people like they get pissed off in the comments. I see it in your guys' comments too. Like, oh, why do you guys curse? Shit like that. And I don't edit my videos out. Like, I'll just say like, oh, this guy's a cunt, and like, I don't change that.
Like,
and
I
some
curse
people
because I'm a person who curses. Like a lot of people in the world. Like most people curse. All right.
Yeah, but then on the internet they say they've never done that.
Yeah, they're so sensitive. I love the comments like, my son is with me. Like, oh, your son's going to hear this word soon. Get the fuck
it was like your tweet earlier today where you're like about the Shakira shaking her ass. And they're like, their kid's watching that shit in 4K in his phone or some shit.
Crazy,
it was like,
man. I mean, people don't think about shit like that. And like that's also why I'm probably never going to have kids. I don't want to be a parent because I don't want to deal with the constant changes that are going on in the world and trying to raise a child because it looks like a disaster. And people suck. People suck. So just be yourself, do your own thing, and whoever likes you is going to like you, and whoever doesn't. And that's just kind of how I've always been. I don't try to like impress anyone. I do want people to like me for sure, because most people you want everyone to like you. I mean, you don't want people to not like you.
Yeah.
So in like this space, it's definitely weird because there's definitely going to be people that won't like me, and I'll have to deal with that. And how I do, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to care. It's
Yeah,
whatever.
I always thought it was funny during like the off season. I was making literally 3 mock draft videos every single day, doing the mock draft. Like, say you wanted a fucking 10-team superflex draft, I'd do it for you. Like 3 days later, and I
Hmm.
get people pissed off. Oh, you didn't do it for me, bro.
Yeah.
I've done 120. I've made 400 videos in one season. No one does
You
that.
can't please everybody, and the bigger you grow, the more people you're gonna not please.
Exactly.
It's just how it's gonna be. People aren't gonna like what you do, and people are gonna like what you do.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like how obviously I don't think you've never been on like one of the live streams, but Nick live streams like talking about like answering questions, and like
Hmm.
you don't answer half the questions. It's like, well, someone just donated, I have to answer their question. They just pay me $5.
Or like they're coming in rapid fire. You got like 20 questions just
Yeah,
came in. I'm
exactly.
trying to read them all. Or this one's very similar to the question I just answered. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah,
read it. Yeah,
or,
I
or
get it.
or then you read the chat and you're scrolling so much, and then you like someone asked the questions because I'm like 3 minutes behind. You asked the question 6 times. I've answered Saquon Barkley or someone else 6 different times, and it's like you just feel so stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just repeating myself over and over, and
Yeah,
the people that are already in here are gonna hear it over and over again. So
yeah. The
it's
worst
tough.
thing to deal with is definitely when people ask you a question and it doesn't say PPR standard half PPR or like 4 point passing
Oh
touchdown,
yeah,
six
well,
point passing touchdown. It's like how am I supposed to figure out who the fuck
at
is
that point
better?
you just move on. That's it. Just
Hmm.
keep going because people should know that by now. Like for fantasy
They
football, you
don't
have
though.
to have that, or else like I can't answer, or I'll answer it, and then they'll be like, "Oh, but like even though," and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Even though, like I just gave you my answer.
The funniest shit is when this is like my favorite thing is I give him a comment like someone over someone and I say the one guy and then I get him wrong by like 3 points and they're like, oh, you fucking dumbass, I picked the other guy
Yeah.
go to go
Oh,
against you, haha, I made the right decision, you dumb
I've had
fuck.
those.
It's like,
I've
dude,
had those people.
I've answered 600 questions today, what do you want? Like
I had
I
the people that like come back and they're like, "Oh, like I can't believe you told me to start him." Like I look at it and it's like he had like a 1.2 points more.
Mhm.
It's like, all right, dude. Like I'm sorry I didn't predict those extra 1.2 points that he was going to be better that day. How the hell would I know that?
Yeah, I go back on some comments where some people are like, oh, you dumb fuck, this guy's not going to do anything. Like all the people, oh, you dumb fuck, defenses wins championships. No, the Chiefs won, just like I said. And just
I'm one of those dumb fucks that says defenses win championships.
It's okay. Everyone's a bit of a dumbass, so.
Oh, well, coaching staff, if you ask me, was the one that blew that one.
All right, we've been going. It's definitely 2 hours now, I would assume.
Yeah, I'd say so. I probably
It, yeah.
fucking take the garbage out.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Max.
I'm just like thinking, like, what was
Oh
I supposed
shit!
to do
It's
before?
garbage day.
It's definitely garbage night.
All right. This
Yeah, no,
video.
hey, listen, thanks for having me. I had fun. I know we went a long time here, but
Mhm.
I felt fast for me.
Yeah, we could
I was
go
just
another
talking.
hour, make it a fucking Godfather movie.
Yeah, this is like a Rogan podcast here.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Thank you for coming on, Max. All your just links will be in the description for everything.
Awesome. Looking
Uh,
forward to it.
this is coming out on Friday. If you want to fucking like tweet it out or something, I don't really care.
Yeah, when do you send me the link and I'll retweet it. Or
Okay.
something.
Yeah, it comes out Friday at 6 in the morning.
Awesome. All
I will
right,
not
it's
be
good
awake
time.
at 6 in the morning.
I probably won't either, but once I wake up, I'll retweet it.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming on, Max.
All right,
Thank
man.
you to
No
everyone
problem.
for watching. I love you all. Goodbye.